What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat.
What's up? True Heel Heat.
All hands on me. Hello, everyone. It's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah.
Oye, te habla tío Sabio Vega. This is Sabio Vega and you watching True Heel Hit a mi manera o pa' la calle.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. And a lot of you, not me, but a lot of you got worked because we ended all SummerSlam night one with Seth freaking Rollins, your new world heavyweight champion after the rules of the century. They should have workshopped that more. But welcome everyone to our WWE SummerSlam 2025 review. We are talking all about last night's show from East Rutherford, New Jersey, MetLife Stadium, as they had one of their more eventful and noteworthy closes to a PLE this year, and we're here to talk about it with you. And we got an all-star cast to do that. First up, we got the main man. He wasn't with us yesterday on the True Heel Heat flagship podcast. He was too busy meeting the stars, but he's back with us today to talk about the big show. The one and only True Draw himself. Josh, how are you feeling?
Well, technically, I met the stars on Friday. Saturday, yesterday, I had to actually technically work. I was at an anime convention in the Bronx to make some money. That's what I did. I made some money, so I'm happy with that.
Good to hear. And of course, we had to bring in a big star for our panel for this post-show, for this post-pay-per-view review, and one of our favorites, a friend of the channel, a brother of the channel. He's basically family at this point. You see him doing his great work on Wrestle Talk. If you're in the United Kingdom, you can hear him on your radio sound feeds, on BBC Radio host extraordinaire, referee of Brainbuster extraordinaire, the one and only Seth Niangi. How are you doing, good sir?
Cracking open some sparkling water is infused with blood orange and mango. It tastes like if someone had mango and blood orange in their mouth and they spat it into water. That's what it tastes like.
I think you were talking about this last time I was with you when we did the wrestling's podcast. I think
so basically I hosted a film night yesterday. Tempest and Holly actually came along to it yesterday, and
he told me on when we went to Progress together. I was a little jealous, but I didn't hold it against either one of you.
Wait, hold on a second. Would you come all the way from where you are in the outskirts of London? Would you have come?
If it was also a movie night and then I can also watch SummerSlam, no, it went too late. SummerSlam went too late.
No, so
it would just have to be a convenient enough time that movie night ended so I could make it back home in time for SummerSlam, because I did do the Fightful post show.
There you go. You see, even with him, I drove him and Holly in my car to this station, which is like a few minutes away via car. It's not a big thing.
See, you're a sweetheart, Seth. Look at this.
Don't need to know that shit. Yeah, so I dropped because he's got a slot with Denise in a Salcedo. So he went to me, dude, it's okay. Like I was like, let me just do this. And he goes, by me doing this, he's got ample amount of time because it started at 11 SummerSlam, and I thought it was 11:30. So by the time I put it on, I was like, oh, first match is done. Whoa, I need to catch up. But before we get to that, welcome, guys. It is a pleasure to be here. And yeah, I'm not going to name the brand of the sparkling water, but it's sparkling water, but you get a tiny hint of what the flavor they say it is. So it's not strong. It's more like soda water if you're into that. I am into that, but I'm just letting you know, it's like someone spat bits of fruit into it. It's barely there. So yeah, but I'm ready to talk about wrestling. There's so much we need to get into. We didn't get worked thanks to Uncle Dave Meltzer. He's smart
and
enough.
John Pollock and
John Pollock,
cousin Pollock.
Yeah, so they're smarting us up here. So it's not like, oh, it was shocking. Those in the know knew. Those not in the know, well done.
Yeah. Well done to anybody who did get worked. You probably enjoyed it a lot more than everybody else that either read the report or I think even without the reports, I would have got the context clues. I think I said it on our Rated Raw review. I was like, the Saturday Night's Main Event recap, the video package, had it highlighted that Seth got injured. And I was like, that's interesting. Then I went online and I saw Seth leaving the ring and he's limping on the wrong foot. I'm like, that's very interesting. Then it was the Becky Lynch video of Seth walking around overselling with the crutches. I'm like, yeah, this is a work.
For a guy that's injured their leg, it's a bit embarrassing that he doesn't know how to act with what a broken leg is. So yeah, method acting is no strong point. Hence why he was wiped out from the recent Captain America film.
Yeah, they got a better actor. Sorry. But yes, we are here to talk about WWE SummerSlam Night 1. It was a huge show last night, and we appreciate y'all if you're joining us live today. We appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. You could share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you and hear your thoughts on last night's WWE SummerSlam Night 1. We're going to get into everything, including that shocking ending with Seth freaking Rollins cashing in the ruse of the century. And of course, everything else that went down on I have opinions on the show. That's all I will tease y'all with. If y'all didn't see me over on Fightful with Alex Pulowski on Fightful Select with the Sour Graps post show, I have some feelings about this show. But yes, we got a bunch of people in the live chat. If you're watching on demand, you can also comment down below. Let us know what you thought about SummerSlam Night 1. And if you're with us live, you can also show your support in the best way possible with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. Did you just put your headline as "The Dick is Black"?
Tell me what I'm telling lies. Tell me what I'm telling lies. Am I telling lies? Am I giving you the wrong information? Am I giving you wrong? Anyway, you're right. We're going to talk about Stumble Slam. Because anytime there's a stumble, if it's not a great SummerSlam show, we don't call it SummerSlam. No, it's Stumble Slam. We got to talk about how much of a stumble that show was, right? I feel like we're in the same boat.
Yeah, it was a WWE premium live event, and in the best and worst ways possible, where they start off strong, then they just go you into this tailspin where midway through the show you're like, is this supposed to be one of the big four shows? This is one of their biggest shows of the year. This feels pretty mid, and then they try to get you back by the end, which for me, they did get me back by the end, but I'm not going to forget the middle. It's the greatest bread. Yes, it's the greatest bread you will ever eat. But then it's just lettuce, or it's one of my daughter's sandwiches where she just puts mayonnaise and ketchup on bread.
Oh yeah, I hate that. It's like a filling. It's like a filling. It's like a bread filling. It's like, kid, what are you doing? You're gonna hate it. When you get older, you're gonna regret you did that, dude. Usually on Wrestle Talk, I'm known as one of the most like open-minded individual. Growing up in 90s WWE, wherever, I've got a high tolerance for bullshit. I've got high tolerance for it. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't, when people go on the internet, they get so worked up on it. I'm like, you know what? I lived through worse. Like for me, it's not on a scale of 1 to 10. Once you've lived through Mabel being a main event draw, him and Nash, watch SummerSlam 95 main event. If you can get through that, you can get through anything in life. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So watching this show, it's everything that is wrong with the PLE of WWE in 2025. Because it wasn't like that a few years ago. But it's like whatever magic the Triple H scammed or grifted has worn off, because my guy cannot book to save his life. The nose has lost it. He lost his sense of smell. If you ever had it, he's lost his touch. And I can't wait to break it down. It's your show. Paint the picture as you always do, SB3. So let's take these people on a journey and talk about Stumble Slam or Summer Scam, as someone put in there, or Suffer Slam, as Valor B put it. Let's do it.
We got Zach in the chat who says Happy National Watermelon Day, everyone. Zach, if you're not black, I'm sorry, but this might offend some people. We got Eric in the chat who says, hey THH fam, call night 1 of Slam the heist of the century part 2 Electric Boogaloo, and somewhere Drew is having a field day right now. Ha ha ha. Drew did comment on it on the post show, and he said that Seth just did what Punk did to him, so congratulations Seth, you deserve it. I respect
this. I got an analogy. It's like Seth is fucking the hot bitch you wanted to fuck, and you're outside jerking off. You could be hitting that. How comes you don't? Well done.
Well done, sir. Wish it could have been me, but well done.
Do you know? Do you know what I mean? I don't know, because that guy had a great 2024. And now he's reduced to being Dolph Ziggler's bodyguard 2.0 for Logan Paul. Do you know what I mean? We're gonna get into it. Like, as much as we is my guy. Like, I love Drew McIntyre. If he sees this, I understand if he wants to slate me. But I'm just being honest. To come off that great 2024, and he's sniffing championship glory. They're talking about how SmackDown is lacking a top heel. That's a smack to his face. Is that not his brand? How can you say that? That's his brand, and people are like,
they literally put him over there for that specific reason for him to be the top heel.
People are saying Cody's got to turn heel. Why? Because they need a top heel. That's a smack to his nuts. Do you know what I'm saying? How dare you disrespect Drew McIntyre? Is the most giving, selfless guy, and is biting him in the bum because now there is a vacuum. Because allegedly, we're all going to talk about if Cena's turn is legit or not, but everyone is clamoring for some sort of turn. And as a guy that is on the neurodivergent spectrum, get your neurodivergent asses some books or train your mind. You don't need heel turns every big pay-per-views. There's a disgusting behavior that is developing. Can we just have a great match? I don't care if they have a great match and they shake hands. It will redeem what happened at WrestleMania. But a lot of people are like, the Rock's got to come back. Brock? the spirit of Hulk Hogan. You know, something's gonna come out. It's no. Let's just have a decent match to end the show. That's what we want. Can we just do that?
Yeah. Like I feel like the ending of last night is going to put unwanted expectations on tonight's main event that they really don't need. All they need to do is have a good match. They don't even need to have a great match. They just need to have a good match, and that would be a vast improvement on what they did at WrestleMania. We got our boy Chuck Berries who says, "What's good, THH fam? Night one of SummerSlam was all right for what it was, except for all the ads and the long-ass main event with too much stalling, in my opinion." Honestly, I thought the main event was one of, if not the best thing about the show. You said it was all right for what it was. It's supposed to be one of the biggest shows of the year, Chuck Berries. What I saw before that main event was not the biggest show. Not one of the biggest shows of the year. I saw a whole bunch of matches that could have been on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, or even worse, NXT.
Some of the time limits, I was like, 7 minutes. Was the Attitude Era? Like, what are we going on? What are we doing here? The show itself, it feels like self-harm. To the point, what I mean is, like, I'm staying up late for this, that sort of thing. I'm gonna be knackered for this. At least with AEW, longer shows, at least you're rewarded for staying up. You get stimulated mentally as you're watching it. Not like you're watching something, you're like, there's not a lot. You know, me and you talked about this the other day when we had dinner together at Nando's. Showing that I'm throwing out there, we're not kayfabe friends, we're actually legit friends. Blame the producers as well, man. Like, some of these producers, how they book wrestlers and how they put them in things. Because we're going to talk about the Sammy and Carrier Cross match, because there's nothing that can defend that. Because there is something I do want to talk about when we get to it, is the fact that you see that match and you watch the Gunther match and you see, oh, that style done better. Because we'll talk about it, because a lot of people, you know, we'll talk about it. I'm going to let you start, because I feel like I'm giving people nuggets of talking points I want to get into. But
yeah, this is what they call cliffhangers. It's making more people
have
a chance to click
I
on.
have to, because I don't want to, like, again, we're 17 minutes in, and, you know, a lot of people are joining in. We appreciate that, but I don't want to, you know, derail the train so early. It's gonna be a passenger chill. I'll let you do the announcements.
You do good. You do great at your job. You're the Black Wade Barrett. You're the best color commentator.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore, they're two incredible talents, and I don't think WWE know how lucky they are to have them. Joe Tess should be doing, like, if he's not doing the pay-per-views, he should be the official PLE host, because his voice is incredible. I like how he does the intros. I'm saying, Michael, you don't fit. And he makes the wrestlers coming in tolerable. Coming in right now, it's Jey Uso, and he's got that Mean Gene Okerlund-esque tone to his voice.
He makes it sound like a sporting event.
Yes.
Like, right from the start, with people coming in. It's like Luka Doncic showing up for an NBA game, Ronaldo coming in for a football game. Like, like that's the feel that Joe Tessitore's voice gives.
Him and Jesse Ventura, I just love them. I'm like, he knows how to handle Jesse better than anyone in that company. It's just, Joe Tessitore, I wish he could do commentary on pay-per-view. His sound bites on big moments. Like, imagine him reacting to what Seth did. That would have been incredible. But we got Michael Cole, who's now past his prime. they will never let JR get away with most of the stuff. Candice Michelle, like, after that, you're getting shipped to OVW. After that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, they put him on NXT. They'd be like, Vic Joseph, you're getting called up.
Yo, we need to talk about Vic Joseph one day. That guy got demoted, and then he's meant to be the heir apparent. Was he in his 40s by the time that happens?
Probably. That's where you're in your private WWE. Sup to I Make Beats. Great to see you in the chat today. He says, sup guys, watch some of SummerSlam this morning. Main event and women's tag. Main event was a great match, great cash-in. Loses points for Roxy losing, but singles gold perhaps. We also got a good brother. I think he's good to go now. Josh, are you back?
Yeah, it looks like I am. Yeah, I was broke. Yeah, the freaking laptop kind of crapped out on me halfway, but I think it's because of the charger. But should be fine. As long as I don't move in and then knock out the charger. I think that's been the problem. So
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that. Oh, we got Aubrey, who's tough on this show. He says, night one was boo-boo. This was nothing but a glorified house show. The match was short and rushed. I don't feel sorry for the suckers who bought this crap. The funniest thing to me was waking up to see that we had someone in our THH chat who was trying to make people feel bad for not going to night one of SummerSlam.
See, you got used to that too. He almost said night one of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm still this is like the third or fourth time this week that I've said night one of WrestleMania because I'm so used to saying that instead of night one of SummerSlam.
Get ready for night 3 of Survivor Series, a third like War Games match.
We got a super chat donation here from Vala. Thank you so much, Vala, for the support. He says, I've rewatched the main event and changed my mind. It worked, just not as well as people say. There were moments where it felt Zack versus Shooter to me. I can understand that. I know it was a little long for some people, but spoiler alert, I love the main event, and I will tell y'all why I love the main event.
It was like a New Japan main event. It felt like
it was like a New Japan main event, and very the simplicity of the story that they told is why I love it so much, because you don't get that, especially not in WWE. You don't get this style of matchup with anyone else besides Gunther in that company.
Yeah. And it's been a while since he had that sort of match. The moment that he starts stamping on, we got to talk about when he starts stamping on Punk's neck. I was like, I haven't seen you do that in ages. They don't really let you wrestle that much anymore. You almost forget that he's a good wrestler because that's how bad the company's treated him. You know, like it's been egregious. But yeah, now that Josh is back, let's set the stage. Let's talk about it. What happened to SummerSlam? Come on, SP, what happened?
Yes. Keep coming with the comments in the live chat. I see we got a bunch of people here with us, but sound off. We'll highlight some comments, and of course, we will highlight if you send a super chat donation as well. But as we start all of our PLE pay-per-view reviews, we started off with one word, one phrase to give your overall thoughts on the show. So we'll start with Seth. One word, one phrase to describe your thoughts on SummerSlam Night 1.
SummerSlam Night 1. It was, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Main event was good, but it's all right. Like, what can I say? It legit, I woke up this legit. You know when you watch a big show and when it's so memorable, you wake up in the morning, all you do is think about it, that euphoric high, it lasts to the morning, whatever. I woke up this morning thinking, man, they really did a bunch of, it was, what's the word? Anticlimactic in a lot of ways. There's a lot of anticlimactic moments in the show. The main event was great. It kind of like, it was a palate cleanser for what I was feeling throughout the evening. But anticlimactic is the best way to describe the show for me. Bittersweet, all those kind of words.
Those are good. Those are good phrases. Good phrases for sure. Josh, what about you? Oh, did Josh phrase? Josh knocked out the charger, didn't he? He knocked out the charger.
You know what? That's his default. That's his resting brunch face. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We can be talking and you're like, that's just regular old Josh. He's just so stoic. He's pensive. He's thinking. He's like, MetLife Stadium. Was my cousin there? Did I see my cousin at MetLife? I'm not too sure. Skeeter.
My word, one phrase for SummerSlam was, it was fine.
It was
fine.
Listen, Triple H has got a style. Since there is it true that Meltzer called him a B+ player, and that's why he carried that on with Bryan Danielson? Allegedly, that's the law.
I think so. That is the lore.
That's the lore,
yeah.
That is, you know what? I'll give him that. That is almost kind of meta. That's actually quite good, like a villain origin story. That a slur in his mind used on me. I'm gonna use it on the guy that Dave Meltzer legit named the award after. If you think about it, there's layers to it that he probably doesn't know. He probably stumbled into it and be like, "You see that? It's cinema. You see that? It's great television." Yeah, you see that? Whatever. Triple H, you're B+ player. Not even B+ as a booker. You're D. You're D.
He's kind of lowered his grade average this year. Like his grade average probably like 2020, like first year in from the summer of 2022 to the summer of 2023. He was like an A student. everybody was like, wow, you're so much better, because he was getting graded on a curve, the curve known as Vince McMahon. So he was an A student. Then you lose that curve after 2 years. So by the summer of 2024, he's like a B student. And now we're in the summer of 2025, and he's like C minus D.
Do you know how bad it is that they're actually saying, you know what, Vince did it better in some areas. You're like, that's how bad it is that people saying, if you did a disclaimer, fuck Vince McMahon and the stuff that he did, but Vince would have done this. He would have known originally that you should blah, blah, blah. For ages, we've been begging that Vince McMahon style, even that to the point where if you watch WWE Unreal, I think, me and Sid consume a lot of stuff. People are not saying, Michael Hayes needs to go, Bruce Pritchard needs to go. They're like what you call nuggets of poos that's left behind by Vince. Little splatter the Vince left behind, and they're blaming him. They're blaming them.
I feel like Michael PSAs, he does his job very well. He's an agent. He puts the matches together. He does very well. I don't know what Bruce Pritchard does. I didn't see anything from WWE Unreal that makes me be like, yeah, I think Bruce is a good person to have there. Like Ed Koskey, I grew more respect for watching WWE Unreal, because I was like, at least he's coming out with creative ideas. Like the whole idea of the last two people in the Women's Royal Rumble eliminate each other, and then Chelsea Green comes out at number 30 and she wins. I was like, this is why you're the senior writer of the creative team. I was like, that's actually good. And I love I hate the fact that online people that really aren't watching WWE Unreal are trying to credit Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes for coming up with the idea that Jey Uso won, when it was Ed Koskey. Ed Koskey was the first one in the room who said, I can't get over, but I'm thinking Jey Uso. And then Michael Hayes was like co-signing and be like, ever since he said Jey Uso, I'm really thinking Jey Uso. And everybody probably just saw that part of the clip and is trying to credit Michael Hayes for it.
You know what? You bringing up a point that I've been getting angry. Not angry, because angry is such a annoyed. You get people, they basically, imagine they're doing a whole soliloquy. Motherfucker, you didn't watch it. You did not watch. I'm doing a Kevin Nash, motherfucker. But motherfucker, you didn't watch it. You did not watch the show. You don't get to comment. I feel like it's one of them ones when it was announced in WWE Unreal, I did groan a bit, because it's not the truth. It is gonna be their sanitized. It's propaganda. What we're watching is propaganda. Even down to our guy Dwayne. I love Dwayne, but he probably went. What part I look like an idiot? Just scrub that part. I want to see the uncut version. You know what I'm saying? The uncircumcised version. Yeah. But watching it, you can comment on it. Watching it, seeing how easily Triple H can get dissuade. He got one thing in his mind. I think it should be this, and he'll be like, "All right, it's gonna be that. It's gonna be that." Because someone said how his mind was on Punk winning the Rumble, and then he walked out saying Jey Uso.
His mind was on Punk winning the Rumble. His mind was on Punk winning in the main event of WrestleMania, and he was so easily dissuaded from his thoughts. But he then puts his name on the top of the test. Someone else did all the work and got all the answers right, and he just puts.
You're right. Where was Lee Fitting? I didn't see this guy at all Unreal. Lee Fitting. I didn't see the guy at all. Put Ed Koskey on there. Ed Koskey, I salute you. I've heard that name for ages. He's been around for a while. It's good to see him in action. WWE Unreal is good to see for certain fragments. I think there should be a spin-off with Chelsea Green. She was, for me, with the highlight. She was. Oh, you want to talk?
The women's division in general were the highlight. Like the character pieces with Rhea Ripley were really good. Seeing the women pray together before the Elimination Chamber, that was a touching moment. Even the put together scenes, like even the woman cheering for Charlotte, where I didn't even need the Fightful report that this was put together, because it felt put together. It felt very, very much put together. Everything with Charlotte greeting people backstage and stuff. I was like, a lot of this feels put on.
You know what? Yeah, I've grown to like. I like Ashley Flair, but I like how she's bled over to the Charlotte character, because as I'm not a psychiatrist, I see her completely, and she's someone you just want to give a hug to. It's like, it's okay. Like I get it. I do. I'm not even gonna slur that she got low tolerance for like criticism. Is how she is. She is not like someone like. Unfortunately, I hate what they do with Becky. I do feel like it's night and day. What people think that Charlotte gets, Becky gets it worse. But I think Becky knows how to roll the punches and roll it off. With Ashley, with Charlotte Flair, you see a lot more. and I get it. She wants to be adored. She doesn't want to get booed. Because a lot of times you make fun of that, man, embrace it, blah blah. I get it. I get her situation. I 110%. It makes me sad. Even like those Chicago thing. We said it. You're a vet. You've been there for a long time, and she got rattled by it. She's one of the person that lives in her head. Like everything, it's
because she's the rich kid that was spoiled and wasn't ready to go out on the world on their own. Whereas Becky was pretty much brought up in WWE as a child of poverty, where she didn't get much. She was kind of pushed aside. She was third in the line of the 3 women that got called up with Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. She had to earn everything that she got. Therefore, when she gets the criticism, and I agree with you, it is a lot worse. Like nowadays you hear Becky Hogan more than you hear Charlotte Hogan, which is ridiculous. But Becky is so quick-witted, and she had to come up. She had to start from the bottom, and now she's here. Charlotte started from the top. So like it's 2 different journeys that they had. So I understand why Charlotte reacts one way and Becky reacts the other.
No, just that I just blocked someone on X, formerly known as Twitter, today because they're getting mad that Charlotte got happy because what happened in the main event. I was like, so Becky was happy what happened in the main event, and I was like, you're that gotten to this. The line was something that I can't stand. I was like, whoa, supporting your spouse, having a great moment in their life. People alone. That's why I think I disassociate from being a wrestling fan. I love wrestling, but not to the degree that it's because I see how everyone else acts around wrestling. I was like, I can't be that guy. I can't be. I'm not. I'm not with them. I shower. I'm not there.
I use deodorant. The only thing that I could like be critical of the post, I like the video in itself. I don't like the caption of you shouldn't listen to the internet. The internet told us he was working. What are you talking about, Becky? I love you, Becky. You're my goat. I want you to keep mentioning me in every one of your promos. So that's why I'm rooting for you tonight. But let's be real. The internet told us the truth. It wasn't not listen to the internet. Don't listen to WWE.
Don't listen to WWE Medical, apparently, in kayfabe. They got it wrong.
Well, to be fair, WWE Medical never gave us a report. That was another sign that this was all a work. It's too swollen. 3 weeks later, it's still too swollen to get an MRI.
I don't know if Josh is coming back. Should we just give people what they want?
Yeah.
I think we've done the pre-show enough. Enough of a pre-show.
Yeah, we did the pre-show. We got one more super chat here from Balab. Thank you so much, Balab, once again for the support. He says Triple H not even B+ anymore. He would rather cancel post-show conferences than get media training. Same guy who wants to be Dana White. I mean, I ranted a lot about Triple H on last night's Sour Graps Fightful post show because he's had a horrible PR week, and this is 2 major shows in a row because he had a horrible PR week heading into WrestleMania. He had a horrible PR week this week, whether it's the Trump Association, whether it's the answer to the Vince McMahon question, whether it's canceling pressers, whether it's John Cena's
Christian Carmelo.
Come on, he doesn't see color. He doesn't see PR training or color. And also the John Cena promo of him turning babyface and blaming it all on The Rock when this is all Triple H's fault is hilarious.
Yeah, and then this is another reason why I think he sucks as a booker. You've got Natty Nightheart moonlighting as a low-key legend, and then you have on TV going, oh shucks, it's me, Natalia, locker room veteran, potted plants, here to team up with the latest rookie that you want me to train. Listen, if he was a good booker, I legit would have done a split personality storyline where the low-key legend actually does appear, because it does feel like she's got split personality. 1 minute, you imagine you're on the internet, you're like, that's a bad motherfucker, and on Raw, hi, what's good? You're like, huh? I would legit do a split personality storyline so you get integrated and the low-key legend becomes a full-time character. But if there was a way, because you know how people are saying, how can you realistically get that character on TV without, because Triple H doesn't, as much as say long-term storytelling, I don't think they have the patience to map out 6 months of turning her into a legit threat. You know what I'm saying? It has to be something like she's split in the psyche and then have like because you don't want it to be too gimmicky or it's a crazy character. It is like she's split mentally, and then the low-key legend is the bitterness of seeing the young people taking a spot. It is legit two sides to her, and
or if you could do it through Becky. Like Becky recruits all the vets, where Becky is kind of already has that character. You get Bailey, who's frustrated right now because of all her losses. You get Natalya. You can have, if you want to use Nikki Bella more often, have her turn as well. That she's upset that all these women have taken her spot, and you got a new four woman stable right there.
New blood versus Millionaires Club. Let's do the women's division of it. It should be happening. The new, TNA Frontline versus Main Event Mafia. I've been waiting for the women's division version of it for ages, to be honest. Even though that genre is a bit crap, it does. People do bury it a lot because, but I think women don't have the same issue as men. It's like you got women like the Lyra Valkyria that's ready to break out, the Stephanie Valkyria. So it wouldn't be like, oh, these are geeks, and all of a sudden we have to try and root for them. But it's not a Billy Kidman and Hulk Hogan situation. I feel like you've got women that are over, ready to be pushed. But I love the low-key legend. I'm so obsessed with. I'm like, you got the best version of Natalya not on your TV. You're not a great booker. You don't have taste. Do you know what I'm saying? Come on, Sid, if you're booking and Natalya created this version of herself, you didn't think, oh, I didn't know you had it in you to present yourself that way. Well, you know, be like, I want that on my show. She's indifying herself. She kind of indify. You know how they love it when you got that indie packaging. No matter how much they say, oh, we want new talents, next in line, but they want that indie sheen. And I feel like Natalya is low-key saying, I'm gonna do all this, so I look very indie. And they're like, I need to book that. I love the fact that she changed herself. It made me respect her more. I've always been a fan of it. I'm not like other people who poo on her. I think she's entertaining for many different reasons, and ironically hilarious as a person. But in terms of her work that she's doing right now, I'm like, I remember when before she came to WWE, she's doing great work in Japan. Natalya is much better than what they allow her. Again, producers. We need to talk about the producers, how they book wrestlers. But she can go to the point people saying she's washed, she was never great. It's my Uncle Brett this, my Uncle Brett that. True for a lot of things, but she got more to offer. And I see the low-key legend. I'm like, I want that on my TV.
We'll see what happens there. But let's get into the show. We see footage of a lot of the wrestlers arriving as the sponsor is attached to it. Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Jelly Roll, Gunther, and CM Punk. The show intro video is narrated by the one and only comedian Drewski. Drewski is here, and he's in the intro. And basically, oh my God, I can't tell you how much I hated yet laughed ridiculously at this intro video of them being like, yeah, WWE, we're all about the moments. We're all about TikToks. That's basically what this intro video was. It's not about these warriors are here to fight. These warriors are here for the ultimate glory of becoming a champion to settle scores. Nothing like like an old school wrestling intro video. This was them basically admitting that they are moment merchants. I can't tell you how much I laughed at this intro video. But we see several wide shots of how packed MetLife Stadium is 77 degrees Fahrenheit and partly cloudy. And we get the host of WWE SummerSlam, Cardi B, former Grammy Award winner. She comes out as the host. They introduced her as one of the greatest female rappers of all time. Yep. And she entered the ring. She hyped up the crowd while seemingly reading off cue cards or a teleprompter of some kind. As she said, who's ready to see Randy Orton? I'm ready to see Randy Orton. And welcomes us to SummerSlam.
A New Yorker tried to, but then again, she's from Jersey, right?
It's a Jersey accent. It's not a New York accent.
When I said I realized, I forgot. I was like, it's from.
It's a very ghettofied New Jersey accent. It has a tint of New York in it. I'll give her that. You could get it confused with the Bronx accent. I will say that.
Wow, you get confused with the Rosie Perez's of the world. Dude. So as I told you, I missed like probably 45 minutes of the show, so I didn't see the Drewski intro. And then when I was trying to rewatch stuff that I missed, which was the first match, and I slept. I was brushing my teeth during the Tiffany and Jade match. I don't know why I did that. I could have picked the Jelly Roll match. I didn't know the match order. If had I known the Jelly Roll match was after that, I would have brushed my teeth through that time. Because when I started watching the show, you know them ones where because I missed most of the show, I didn't do my pre-bed ritual because I like to do that. So if I do fall asleep, I'll fall asleep with clean, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then also when you and Alex McCarthy, shout out to Alex McCarthy, we're in the group chat talking about the main event. I was gonna text you guys. I fell asleep.
Well, you know who else told me that they fell asleep during the show? I think he's back now. Josh is back.
That's why I was laughing. I fell asleep too. I got to be on this review because I'm like, yo, I was forced to. I'm like, I'm forcing myself to watch it, and then I fell asleep twice.
I woke up basically the intro to Gunther and Punk happened, and then a little bit of the in-ring action, and I wake up. Punk's music's on. Let's go to a title. Oh, okay, he won. I have to watch this in the morning. If the show's not ending, he's still holding the bell. Burn it down. Oh, he's on crutches. What's going on there? All right. Is he pretending? He's gonna cash in. He's turning around now. He's gonna stop at some point. He dropped the. That's when I stayed awake. But legit, it was legit. That's what happened to me. But yeah. Oh, my daughter's here. She's trying to cash in on me.
We got an invasion coming on.
Don't cash in on me. I'm going to put myself on mute and get rid of her.
Hey, Kenya. But yes, let's talk about the opening matchup here. The opening matchup of the show was Roman Reigns teaming up with Jey Uso. We got Jey Uso who comes out with his entrance that went about like 10 minutes long as he entered through the crowd and stated, "Damn, I'm tired," as he hit ringside as he went all throughout this huge stadium. Roman Reigns comes out to a big reaction as well. Then we get Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They came out to their new remix version of their music, the Braun Stars, with their two themes. The match starts off and all four men start brawling with one another. The baby faces get the better of things. Let me mute. I think I'm hearing echo. Then the baby faces get the better of things and they throw the Braun Stars from the ring. And then I don't know for what reason, but Roman and Jay decide to run back the Jey Uso theme music so they can yeet some more. This leads to the Braun Stars pulling them out to ringside, but Jey Uso breaks things up with a huge dive off the top rope down to the floor, wiping everybody out. Reed shoved Reigns into the steel steps while Jay hammered away at Breaker in the ring. Eventually, the heels would gain control of things and they isolate Jey Uso for a while. Breaker ran him over with sprinting clotheslines as the heels took over. Reigns was about to get to his feet, but Braun Breaker just does this ridiculous leaping tackle where it looked like he headbutted Roman right in the chin. There was a funny bit where Breaker held Jay in a rest hold while mockingly singing Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. He starts singing that you should have stayed in bed. He's even doing the running back thing as well. Breaker tried his leaping dive off the apron, but Jay was able to dodge it. It leads to Roman looking like he's going to get the tag just as Jay was about to make a hot tag. Reed pulled Reigns off the apron while Breaker tackled Jay. Jay gave Reed a big DDT as he puts him down. And then eventually he does, in fact, make the hot tag to Roman. We get Roman. He starts going on fire. He hits a big bunch of clotheslines to Breaker with both heels outside the ring. Though we get one of the scariest spots of the whole entire show, y'all, as Roman Reigns does the Undertaker big dive over the top rope and overshoots it. You can literally, if you go back and watch it, you can see when Roman realizes that he's overshot the Bronze Stars, and he does a front roll and doesn't land on his head. This is great timing by Roman. He's a little too light and got too much hops, it seems. Reigns almost landed on his head, but he managed to rotate and avoid that. Reigns hit Breaker with a Superman punch in the ring, but Reed had made a blind tag and ran over Roman. We get Jay. He makes his own blind tag, and he starts running wild for a bit here, helping out Roman for a little bit in this one. Reed cuts him off with a clothesline and a DVD. He gets a 2 count. We get both baby faces in outside the ring, and Reed does a massive suicide dive, and he almost takes a nasty fall as well on that one, but he was fine. Breaker decked Jay, and then does the leaping clothesline onto Roman after a running start. The heels then gave Jay the Steinerizer, the top rope Doomsday Device Bulldog for a 2 count. Breaker began running around the ring, but Reigns cuts him off and hits a Superman punch and then spears him through the barricade. This comes after he pushes Jay out of the way, which would become one of the big factors of this matchup. Back in the ring, we get Roman and Jay. They team up together after breaking up the Tsunami, and they hit the 1D. It looks like they got the cover, but Breaker is able to recover from the spear through the barricade, and he makes the save. Breaker starts taunting the crowd, and he takes his straps down. He puts his straps on, and then takes them off again as the crowd popped for that. And Breaker went for the spear on Jay, but Roman, showing his sacrifice, showing his growth as a character and as his cousin to Jay, he pushes Jay out the way. He takes the spear for Jay, which would be a deciding factor in this matchup. You get Jay Uso. He super kicks Braun Breaker. He then takes him out of the ring. He runs up and he hits the big spear on Bronson Reed. He follows up with the Uso splash off the top rope for the 1, 2, 3 as Jay Uso and Roman Reigns pick up the victory here in what I thought was a super fun opener. The crowd, it took a while for the crowd to get into things, but once they got into it, you had all the big moments that we talked about here, the big spots that really got them into the action. Roman Reigns is viewed as a superstar. Jay Uso's so super popular with the Yeet chant and everything that his character has been through. Braun Breaker is viewed as someone who's a future headliner for WWE, and Bronson Reed, I thought he did very well in this matchup here. So I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. Before the main event, this wasn't a match of the night, in my opinion. Sat, what did you think?
Roman Reigns is like a politically savvy Roosh, where he's like, I'm gonna have my cousin win this match, okay? Right? Because Roosh looks out for his siblings. We're like, his family members. We're like, you're gonna do this. He doesn't do this. He doesn't remember spots, so we're gonna do this match instead. But anyway, yeah. Roman Reigns, someone people have been pointing out, has had a good 2025 in terms of performance. He's let go some of the tribal chief trappings of his match. It was less talking and more action. So we can still get a hint of the big dog. As much as we trying to pretend that character never existed, it's part of the law, is what makes him Roman Reigns. What makes him the tribal chief, what makes him the OTC. And when they're trying to do the YTC, and it's so dumb. Why did they change that? And then that didn't get over. Do you know they did the YTC for a bit on the Titletron and the t-shirt? Yeah. And they were like, people were like, OTC. And then they secretly were like, take off the Y. Look, the O's back, guys. And he's like,
OTC won.
Anyway, that dive that he did, and he overshot. Even though he overshot, Undertaker, you see how you protect yourself when you overshoot. You tuck, and you bend.
You roll.
You don't go, Sim Snooker, can we just bring you out retirement? We need you to be a cameraman because Roman Reigns is going to do this jump. This dive he hasn't done in 5 years. Okay? No, he's like, he's such an athlete. Someone said it like they're saying that if he cared about wrestling, he'd be the best wrestler alive. Well, he didn't care about wrestling, and you just pooed him. So if there's any guy,
when he did care about wrestling, I didn't like him.
He couldn't wrestle. Leave him alone. And people say, and this is what annoys me about when they say Roman Reigns. Oh, he doesn't care about wrestling. The guy's got double twins. a twin father will tell you about what it's like to have twins. He's got two sets of twins. And he's got some sort of leukemia because people are so quick. You don't know since COVID what are the protocols, what he has to do. He has to work out as well, so he knows how much is taken out of him. So any bit of Roman Reigns we get, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the joke that every time he comes back is a return because he's gone for a while. He is an attraction now. He's earned it. He put wrestling on his back during the pandemic. He made sure that you were not suffering through any more Braun Strowman and the dearly departed Bray Wyatt matches, because that was the main event scene. The main event scene was Braun Strowman versus the Miz and Morrison. He saved you from all of that stuff, so he deserves whatever break he's taking to Survivor Series because he did a good job. I thought the match was a decent opener. Decent 3-star match. I don't like to do stars. That's more my guy over there. That's more his stuff. I do stars for movies. When it comes to wrestling, I'm like, yeah, I guess it's a 3-star, 4-star, whatever. But it was a decent opener. It's great that Jey Uso got the win because he's been losing big matches recently. It was good. But at the same time, it would have gotten the Brons over if they won as well. I mean, Jey Uso was the designated pin eater if needs be. But it was a fine match for what it needed to be. It got the juices flowing.
Yeah, I think so. I know there was a lot of people who are upset that the Braun Stars didn't win this one, but it's freaking Roman Reigns. He hasn't won a matchup since January. What did you think was gonna happen? Did he need this win? Absolutely not. But it's not always about who needs to win. It's about protecting the stars that you know are stars, and that's what this win was for Roman and Jey.
Yeah. And also, we're going to talk later. How does this group still not have a name? We're celebrating the ring. I don't know what to call you guys. We're going to talk about that later.
Well, I called the group of Braun and Bron together. They were the Braun Stars. But fans had been calling Seth's group the Seth Riders for a while.
Did you coin it? I give it to you. Did you?
I heard it from other people, so I can't take credit for it. I take credit for Braun Stars. I can't take credit for the Seth Riders. But I will say I will give them. They did have the report earlier today that WWE did file a trademark for the Vision after SummerSlam, or probably before SummerSlam. So it seems like that's going to be the name of the group, which about damn time. It's been 4 months. 4 months of this group, and it took you that long to figure out a name.
The Vision. You know what? Dangerous Alliance was right there, man. I don't know.
It was right there. I would have
because we're like, that. Oh,
me personally, I was calling them Dangerous Alliance for the first couple of weeks until Seth Riders came, and I was like, nah, that's too good to not talk about.
Yeah, but I guess this is the company that had the Shield, the Vision.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Wherever. I've been starting for a name. Wherever you can say Zippity Doodah, and I'll take that as a name. Oh, Zippity Doodah. Let's do it.
To answer watching stuff, Josh is having technical difficulties today. I'm sure he's going to try to be back with us. He had issues with the mic. He's had issues with his laptop, but I'm sure he'll be back before we finish things off. Don't worry, y'all. And yes, Vala mentioning the same thing here, saying they finally got a trademark for the Vision. Maybe it takes a while for them to, get the filing on the trademark. Maybe it's something that they've had planned out for the past 4 months, and it took 4 months for them to get the filing.
Pure Vision Collective. I like that.
It was like, let's just recycle some stuff that we already had. Why not?
Why not? PVC. The song's there. Let's just use that again. I like the Braun Stars theme. For me, it's the best fusion theme since Jericho. Like, it's got the best version of both songs, and Braun Breaker's theme. It's fine, but it sounds dated. It would be if he had that song in 2002. That's new metal, baby. It sounds kind of dated. It sounds like I'm like, did he just pick a song from one of the old WWF pay-per-views from 2002 and use it? But the remix version with the bass and some of the Bronson Reed theme, it goes hard together. I love their theme song together. It's a good one. It's good.
Like Bronson Reed has a great theme song.
Oh, it's fantastic. Def Rebel, they're noted like for being crap, but they got some few good ones. That's why I always get annoyed when people. I don't know. We're gonna talk about it one day about people's state of mind. They prejudge Def Rebel. I'm like, Me and you had a discussion about the Judgment Day feud, right? I get it. In my head,
it's dude. You
cannot
cannot be in support of it when we talk about the next matchup and they got no reaction because they came out to that awful theme. This is not a theme. It's not a theme song that's going to get cheered. And no, but it's not a theme song. It's not but it gets no reaction. Like you can't cheer it, you can't boo it. You just get no reaction because it's not identifiable. It's just
it's street trash.
Like no, but like you said, it's like any Memphis freaking hip hop song you've ever heard. I
vibe with it. Listen, it sounds like 3-6 Mafia. I'm waiting for like what's Juicy J to rap over this. You can fall in, you're all in, you never trolling, then you control it. They're street trash. That Judgment Day, look, Edge's Judgment Day is dead. Rhea's Judgment Day is dead. This Judgment Day is different. Finn won in street trash. You all cried about the name. You're like, the guy that named Bullet Club named this group street trash. Had it been street trash, you wouldn't have no issue with it. You'd be like, they're street trash now. It's like the nation of domination. I think you wanted to do that. It's like, we're not the nation of domination. This is the nation. No, we don't want the nation. We want nation of domination. Well, no.
I'll be honest, I would have still had a problem with it. The song sucks.
Does it suck really? Yes. In isolation, you wouldn't vibe to the song. Like you wouldn't. No. Really?
I wouldn't listen to it if it wasn't a wrestling theme or not. It's just not a good song.
Oh, it's spooky vibes, man. I love it. It's like 95, man. It is. Yeah. I'm gonna find. You know what? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm on the island myself with it, and I'm fine with that. But I vibe with the song. They're not the group they used to be anymore. Like you can't pretend they're not emo. Even though some of them could be. No, they're different. It's now a new Irish, Latino contingent. Who's missing is Conan to put the group together and make it more cohesive. Like it's not that group anymore. They're not doing the Damian Priest disappearing in the middle of the ring for no reason. Like that those days are over. No pop. That's you guys. It's your job. Roxanne's not getting pushed. I wonder why.
Drewski, Breland, and Fat Joe in the crowd. Fat Joe got the biggest reaction out of all those people. Then we get an awful sponsor ad in I think it's like Nick, it's like the New Day stole
Papa
pizza
John.
From Akira Tozawa, and Dragon Lee shows up, and Maxine Dupree shows up, and then Nikki Bella shows up with Papa John's for everyone.
You know what?
The acting in these in-ad segments suck.
It does. It's a big pile of dookie. Seeing Dragon Lee, who is a beast of a wrestler. I remember when he first signed with WWE, I was happy because there was a flux. There was too many luchadors in AEW at the time, and it made sense. You had like at the time Ray Fenix was like the crowning jewel luchador. We assumed he was. And then you've got other guys coming in like the Commander, and then something we had Laredo Kid over there, and of course Penta. So it made sense. It's like there's too many luchadors. They just have Rey Mysterio there. They need guys. So Dragon Lee goes there, has a nice brief, few months having matches on SmackDown. He had a match with Carlito on Survivor Series, and I think they blame him for that match. Even though it was Carlito holding up his end of the weight. What are they doing with him? Because I was happy because I felt like AAA or AAA was used by AEW, because look at that partnership with AEW and CMLL night and day. With AAA, it was kind of like get QT boss when you show whatever, or whatever the rather. But that's why I was happy that they stuck it to them. It's like, we're tired of being your puppet. We're not your puppet anymore. We're going to WWE. And since then, I'm like, I think we made a mistake. We should have Dragon Lee. I don't know.
Dragon Lee regrets. I think if anyone regrets the decision to sign with WWE over AEW, I'm sorry, Dragon Lee. I know they paid you to have a kid and stuff, but you could be doing so much more with your life, sir.
I just don't get it. He is a surefire hit. He could be. You know what? I'm happy that Penta's getting pushed. Like, I would be annoyed. Penta, you look at him and I'm like, how can you know? He's sports entertainment. He's like the modern day La Parca. People waiting for him to get fat in the future because he's destined to have a fat luchador future.
He called him the modern day La Parca.
People think that. Come on, Yeah, come on. And the skeleton, kind of design and stuff like that. He lost weight. Before he lost weight, because he was chunky, he was getting chunkier once upon a time, and then he decided to lose weight and be healthy and stuff like that. But yeah, Penta is if there's any guy luchador modern day that should get pushed, it's not like, oh, he's the next Rey Mysterio. He's too unique to use that label on. I'll kick you in the nuts. There's nothing about him and Rey Mysterio that's alike. He should get pushed of his charisma, his catchphrase, and everything. He should have been on SummerSlam. Is he gonna be on SummerSlam? I don't even know. Night 2.
No, he's not. He's not on SummerSlam. Unfortunately,
he should challenge for the title now. He should challenge for the title now.
Our generation's Laparca is it's wild to me. And yeah, the whole first match and the ads and everything, that was the first hour of the show. And then I was like, man, this is gonna be they're really gonna make this a 4-hour show. No, because there was a lot of short matches after this. But let's talk about the next match on the card, which was for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. The challengers, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, the Not Friends, the Allies of Convenience, teaming up to face the team of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day, the champions here. Early on, we get the champions. They are take control. The heels get the heat on Charlotte Flair after she has a miscommunication with Alexa Bliss to start off the matchup. Eventually, Bliss is able to make the hot tag, and she starts running wild for a bit here. She goes for Sister Abigail, but Perez rakes her eyes. Perez missed a springboard moonsault, but Rodriguez was able to tag herself in. Bliss dropped Perez with a DDT. She starts running wild for a bit in this one. She goes for the Twisted Bliss, even though Perez was not the legal woman, but Perez got her knees up and Bliss missed anyway and landed on Perez's feet instead. None of it mattered because Perez wasn't legal, so then Raquel comes in and she starts wailing on Bliss for a bit here. We get Charlotte. She eventually makes the hot tag and she starts running wild. She did her best to fire up the kind of quiet crowd at this point. She hit both wrestlers, both of her opponents with a flying crossbody. She started laying in some chops on Rodriguez. She placed Rodriguez and Perez side by side with one another and hits a big moonsault off the top rope before covering Raquel. But she only gets a 2 count. Charlotte tried to put Rodriguez in the figure 8, but Perez came in with a springboard moonsault to break it up. Bliss jumped in. She tries to go for a big right hand on Rodriguez, but unfortunately you get Roxanne who pulls Rodriguez out of the way. So Alexa unfortunately clobbers Charlotte. Charlotte did a great sell where she just fell like very slowly down to the mat. The heels got rid of Bliss. We get Rodriguez who sets up Charlotte. She hits her with the Tejada bomb. Then Perez comes in and hits Pop Rocks, but Bliss somehow, some way is able to barely break up the cover here. Bliss set up Perez for Sister Abigail, but the Judgment Day cut him off. You get Charlotte. She is basically out on her feet, and then Bliss comes in, runs in. She pulls Charlotte to the corner and tags herself in. She starts running wild. She sets up Roxanne for the Sister Abigail, but you see Charlotte. It looks like she wants to go for revenge on Alexa, but instead she boots Raquel out of the ring, and then Alexa hits the Sister Abigail DDT for the 1-2-3. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. They have a little bit of a miscue afterwards, but Charlotte begrudgingly embraces Bliss after the matchup. They pose with their new title belts as the fireworks go off, and Raquel and Roxanne are disappointed that they lost the titles. This was pretty much a TV matchup for better or worse. I don't know, good or bad. I don't know how you want to put it, but it was basically a tag team TV matchup. I give it 3 stars. It was good. I thought the last couple of minutes were very fun. I really thought that they were going to lose. The Allies of Convenience on the miscue, the friendly fire of the accidental punch, especially how Charlotte or sold that punch, and then the follow-up with the Tejada bomb into the Pop Rocks was a really good near fall that got the crowd into the final few minutes of the matchup. So I enjoyed all of that. I thought it was the right result with Charlotte and Alexa. They've gotten over big time with this whole angle, and this is the most character progression that we've seen from Charlotte Flair in like 10 years. She's no longer the very robotic queen. She's now showing a little bit more layers to her character, so I enjoyed that. So like I said, 3 stars. It went 13 and a half minutes as well, which would be one of the longer matches of the night. So at least it felt a little closer to a PLE matchup than the next 2 matches. But Josh, you're back with us. Hopefully the technical difficulties are done. What did you think?
Hey man, I had to I even remove a lot of the storage, so I'm like, maybe that was it, because there's been like a StreamYard thing. Every time I go on StreamYard, it's been freezing. But as far as the match, I thought the match was okay. That's the best way I could really say it, because when I was trying to watch it, even the crowd was kind of like, I want to say dead, but it was like, do you really need to have this match in a big crowd like this? That's basically how I felt about it. So to your point of this could have been on Raw, I think it would have been hotter on Raw, as crazy as that sounds, because you're dealing with a smaller crowd and you're dealing with 50,000 people for a regular TV match. It's really hard for people to be into it. And that's how I felt about it itself. But I do feel like going with the move Alexa and Charlotte is the right move, because they've been doing some great things together, so I thought it was the right move in that aspect.
Set.
Excuse the washing machines in the background if you can hear it. But anyway, imagine if you're back in the days when we used to have videotapes and DVDs. So imagine if you're collecting the 2025 WWE PLE. WrestleMania, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan lose the tag titles. Fast forward to SummerSlam, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne lose the tag titles. That would be like a weird shift without any context of the fact that Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch lost the next day on Raw. I just wanted to point that part out. The match was inoffensive. It was a 3-star match, but there was good points of where Alexa got to show what she can still do in the ring, because we haven't really. I still feel like we're still getting reacquainted with her as a wrestler, because she's been gone for such a long time. So it's good to see what she's still got in the tank. Roxanne Perez is a ring general, man. She's 23 years old, but she can run rings around most veterans in the ring. Charlotte Flair, we talked in a group chat. Yes, it is something different, but I still need to see more from them. I feel like even a hug hasn't been earned. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm just taking it because it's different, and I don't want to be picking it, but I do need to see more of their progression as becoming friends. And the name Queen's Bliss is right there. Queen's Bliss is right there. It sounds like Queen's Quest or whatever, but Queen's Bliss is right there as a name. No need to be allies of convenience. No need to be we're not friends. They can have a better name, but it's different. It's Charlotte Flair trying to flex her muscles, and I feel like she's trying to be relatable. But it's kind of like when you see a politician trying to be relatable. So tell me, can you be relatable? But the real life Ashley Flair is trying to bleed into Charlotte Flair. So that's the thing when you can't do kayfabe. You can tell that the actual real life person is trying to be more herself. Because how she dresses in real life is not bleeding into Charlotte. Charlotte now looks like I'm the girl from the South. Yeah, you are from North Carolina, true. But before you used to act like, you're living in a penthouse and, in the neighborhood where black people don't exist, this Charlotte is acting like she hangs out in black clubs.
Like she's heard in the club before.
Yeah. Listen, this is what I found out in 2025. The black fans love Charlotte Flair. They love her. I think the moment she gets some black BBC, they're gonna be rejoicing like they're getting the BBC, or they're shafting her. They love her. When they saw her with her clearly gay stylist, therefore, Charlotte's moved on. I was like, the guy, he looks like he likes Andrade's penis as well. What do you mean? Wow. That's clearly her friend. Remember, they rooting for her. Because she's had every guy in the galaxy. She's had Bram. She's had a regular white guy. She's had a Mexican. They're like, get on the black train. Get yourself a black man. That should be next. You know, she do have stuff. Yeah, she does have nobody vibe. One of my best friends in life is like, oh, he's got something for Charlotte. I was like, really? Charlotte Flair does it for you, yeah? I was like, listen, it's like, I'm not saying she's like, you know, she's an attractive woman in every iteration that she's put out. You know, she's you know, but I was like, you like big booty, you know, like, but she's been working on that. I realized that there is something behind her now. She's actually trying to do something, you know, because it used to be like her shorts would just push it, but that is she's working on them glutes, and her outfits look great. I can see what you're doing, Charlotte. You'll get BBC soon. Don't worry.
You've earned it.
Yo,
you deserve it. You deserve it. Yeah, I think that I'm liking this angle, like I said, because I think that it's giving Charlotte a little bit something new, and that's what she really needed. More than just getting a new title, she needed a new story to tell. They're telling that. It's very, very much, this whole story is very coded in Team Hell No / rated RK Bro. Like, this is RK Bro meets Team Hell No in a lot of ways between Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. This is how WWE tell the kind of odd couple story, and I think they're doing it well. It's getting over with the crowd. This matchup was just fine. It was solid in a lot of ways. You know, I see some people who think, you know, this match was their match of the night, and you're entitled to your opinion. I think that it was a match on the night. And I think that the main issue that I have with this match being here is that you are unnecessarily making me compare it to the opening matchup because you did it back to back. If you have three tag team matches on the night, separate them, because all this was in comparison to the first match that had all these bombastic kind of clunky big man dives and big set piece big spots like the spear through the barricade. Talk about that this matchup being right after it, all I was like, oh, this is your WWE Can They Coexist tag team matchup, because that's all it really was.
Question, Raquel, I do like Raquel and Roxanne more, because I feel like Raquel is not being a heavy, because Raquel was doing what Piper Niven annoyingly has done. You went from being an equal to being a lackey, and I don't like that. So I feel like since she's team of Roxanne, she's like the leader, she's the ring general, you follow my lead, and she's got to blossom more as a personality, except for that when she had them crappy, just got crappy choice of sunglasses that she wears. Like, she can pick a better sunglasses. They look like very cheap, and then she wears the headband and she's folding her arms, and I was like, she was the third wheel in that group because it was Liv and Dom then her. But since Liv, I love Liv, but you can see night and day how this group has blossomed. I'm sorry. For me, the group has blossomed.
Liv is very much like Rhea, where she stands out from the pack of this group so much, and she's grown into a big star where she does not really fit in the group. And I do agree. No. I've said this on the preview, actually. I was like, I think that Roxanne and Raquel are a better tag team than Raquel and Liv. Raquel very much felt like a sidekick or a heavy, a muscle or bodyguard, whatever you want to say, for Liv. Whereas with her and Roxanne, they got the matching gear, they got tag team moves, they feel like a cohesive team. So I'm hoping that this Allies of Convenience tag team title reign, I don't need it to be that long. You told the story, they won the tag team titles, they can hold it for a couple of months, but I think that you should put it back on Roxanne and Raquel, time it properly for when Liv is about to come back, they have the tag team titles.
I also compared Roxanne and Raquel to TJ and Marcus Henderson from Smart Guy. That's the dynamic they have. You see it, you do see it. The smart little brother and the snarky older brother.
Gooding in Taj Mahal.
Yes. Right? They did have that vibe, right? It is my smart ass little sister, the genius sister. Get away from me. Because that is the vibe they have. They do have a sibling kind of chemistry that is very much is Marcus and TJ Henderson from Smart Guy. It legit is that. Because it's like, that's my little sis, but she's better than me in IQ, certain levels. But yeah, Raquel, I would say, do you feel like she's starting to break out and you can potentially see her as the world champion that Triple H wanted her to be from NXT? No. Because he's trying to make the big three being Bianca, Rhea, and her. No?
No. She can women's tag team titles is her comfort spot or comfort zone. I can see her at most being an Intercontinental champion or US champion, not world champion. She's not that good. Yeah, she's not that.
Listen, I'm not saying she's that good, but she fills her spot like a Nia Jax. They have their spots of where, like, I could see a Lyra match with her. I'll be excited about because I feel like Lyra has got enough of a ring IQ to pull something out of her, kind of like Brett and Diesel. I feel like her with a smaller person, like a Roxanne, like a Lyra, you'll get decent matches out of her. I don't think she's a big woman wrestler. I feel like I don't rate her like everyone else. She has a style she's starting to get into. Since Kevin Nash's comment, we're seeing more. She's gonna get there, and I'm rooting for her because I feel like her in NXT towards the end she was getting good, and then she had that whole gimmick where she couldn't stop smiling, you know, like it was Batman, like all of a sudden the Joker's giving her the back. No offense, her back ain't as muscular as other women, so when she show her back, I'm like, is she showing me where, you know, Braun Strowman shoots, you know?
Wow, Seth, we need a disclaimer for Seth. Jesus.
This is twice and this match alone. Jesus fucking Christ.
Josh, I want to give you the chance. Do you have any comments on Roman and Jay versus the Braun Stars?
Roman and Jay, I thought it was fine. It was a fine opener. I thought that the intro, like the entrance, was kind of like overdone. Like it was just way too long for my liking. But it is what it is. The match itself was fine. Fucking Roman almost broke his neck. That freaked me the fuck out. I'll tell you that much. But you know, yeah, that's how I felt about the match. I mean, it was a fine opener. It was okay. Like, you know,
see, I'm the high man on it. I thought that was really good. I thought it was super fun opener. I don't know if it's.
I think it was fun. Like, you know, it was cool. It's just, I don't know. It's just something about the match that was like, maybe it was because this was the match I kind of fell asleep on. I'll be totally honest about that. Like the stuff that I saw was fine. Like I thought everybody worked well. I thought like Bronson and Bron worked well together, especially that double team move they did. I was like, oh my god, like how is this guy still alive? With the, what was it, like the
Steinerizer. Yeah.
After Buff Bagwell, I'll hesitate to do that after Buff Bagwell, but yeah.
That was insane. But besides that, I mean, yeah, the match was fine. I just thought, I don't know, it was just something about it that I'm like, I'm not too crazy about, but it's definitely was not. It wasn't the worst match of the night. It wasn't a bad match, but it was fine. I thought it did its job. Like it was able to, you know, to get Roman and Jay over. They did tell the story of maybe Roman, you know, in his way did kind of apologize for that spear. Like, you know, he took that spear for Jay, maybe, you know,
sacrificing himself.
Yeah, so you know they did some fine things. It was a fine match.
So once again, back-to-back pay-per-views for these two. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, despite feuding since January, do not get a video package on this show. And I don't blame them. Karrion Kross comes out first. Then you get Sami Zayn coming out second. The opening of this matchup, it was kind of a match. It was kind of here. It happened. They went a little bit back and forth. Sami had control for a bit. Karrion Kross had control for a little bit of it. For about 5 minutes in, Zayn kicks out of a Saito suplex from Kross. So Kross turned to Scarlett for assistance. Scarlett handed Kross a lead pipe that he goes to use on Sami, but Sami is able to get the better of him, and he ducks the pipe shot and then hits the Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall. A frustrated Sami repeatedly started beating the crap out of Kross against the ropes. He boots him in the head multiple times before the referee has to force him off. Then we get Scarlett handing Sami the lead pipe, offering him the lead pipe, telling him to feed into his desires as the referee is checking on Kross. But Zayn, after some contemplation over using it, he throws it down against the steel steps. It bounces off. The crowd actually booed this after they were cheering like "Let's go Sami," and the "Let's go Kross" chants were actually louder than the "Let's go Sami" chants. Cross gets a sudden schoolboy, but he's only able to get a 2 count. Sammy comes back and he hits him with the exploder in the corner and then follows up with the haluva kick. 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn picks up the victory over Karrion Kross. Zayn celebrates. He's got a big smile on his face. After the matchup, as Sami, got the pinfall, you could see basically Kross like patting him on the chest, like holding on to him and saying something to him. I don't know if he was saying that I was wrong right then and there, or they're gonna do it on TV. But we didn't even get the payoff of what they promised for this matchup. The stipulation going in was if Sammy lost, he had to admit that Kross was always right. But if Kross lost, he had to admit that he was wrong. We didn't get that here. Maybe we get it on television in the next couple of weeks. But man, this was just a basic matchup. And the finish makes no type of sense. Like my prediction for this matchup was Sammy gets the win because he uses the lead pipe. So that means Sammy won the matchup, but Kross was actually right. So both guys get something out of that if that's the finish. But Sammy just not using it and beating Karrion Kross, barely an inconvenience. You just buried Karrion Kross to me. And this matchup was better than the last matchup, meaning that it was just fine. I give it 2 stars. Sat?
You know how on social media it goes, we need to talk about a certain wrestler. So I've been on the Karrion Kross. I can't say the name now. Karrion Kross train for quite a while before it became cool to be on the train. I'm still on the train, but I'm gonna be honest, because as you're my friend and someone I highly respect, I can't sit here and lie to you. Everyone's faces about this match. I can't lie about this match. I cannot. Sami Zayn's one of the best wrestlers in the world, and it's kind of like a cheat code. When you're in the ring, you know what I'm saying? It's a cheat code. To be in the ring with someone like Sami Zayn is like a cheat code. You can have one of the best matches of your life. You have to hold your end of the bargain. And Karrion Kross has got a style, because I think for ages I've been stuck on Killer Kross from TNA or Impact Wrestling, because I felt like he was more explosive there. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if his body's broken down, but the style, I don't know if I want to, them ones where I'm blaming the producer. I'm blaming Disco Inferno because he's one of his trainers. I'm blaming Scarlett Bordeaux for being too pretty. Maybe he's just, I did everything but say the actual truth.
He's gassed from piping every day.
Exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? His hair's too long. His wrist tape's too tight. I did everything. His music is not as chest pumping. I did everything but say the actual truth. And I'm here to say the truth. Mid-card at best, okay? Until he can do more than Saito suplexes, because I was saying to people, it's a methodical style. You're not getting it. I don't compare him to Gunther, but it is like Gunther tells a story, and I think he tries to tell a story. But a lot of times we're like, it's like a David Lynch film. What story are you telling? I'm a bit confused. I need to rewatch that. What am I missing? Because it is methodical, but to the point where it's like, it's kind of like a New Japan match. You start off slow, and then 1, 2, 3. What? We never got to the crescendos, the highs. He never gives us that. And that's what I get why people say he sucks in the ring. I don't think he's bad per se, but his in-ring style lacks the pizzazz for 2025. I think I like the guy in real life. I love listening to interviews. His respect for the business. He's got a great mind for the business. But what he does in the ring is not. He's over now, but it's not translating to I want to see this guy. Maybe if it was a plunder match, hopefully I don't know. But I'm just gonna be honest. I watched it with my eyes open. I didn't fall asleep for this match. People could say it could have been a cure for insomnia, but I watched the match and I was like, oh man, you know the one that I needed a match to hang my hat on him, because when you're defending someone, you're like, show me. People are so lazy. Show me a great Karrion Kross match. Watch this match with Sammy. Now I have to be like, this footage is missing. It's somewhere.
I lost the file.
Yeah, I lost the file. It got corrupted. I'm sorry. I have to admit, if he were to get him pushed, because I don't want anyone to lose their job. I think he's great as a talker, as a personality. Then the bell rings, and it's like the style does not translate, and it sucks me. You know how painful it is to say this, and I have to be honest. I was rooting for this guy, but when I saw that match, I was like, man, you got given SummerSlam. The fans are on your side. You should have showed out. You did not show out. He did not show out. And I'm almost annoyed at him. But I was like, dude, I've been riding for you. And you made me look like a dickhead in front of everyone that's calling. Everyone that's giving you slurs. People calling you the B word, boring. People saying, good luck to your future endeavors. They're right. You're making me look like an idiot. I cape for you. I like the guy. He seems like a lovely guy. I think that's what he is. He seems like a lovely guy, and I root for him. But listen, if Kurt Hawkins, who's a much better wrestler, cannot get a push in WWE, you shouldn't. If your ring skill set level was not up there, he's not main event. I'm sorry. People go Nakamura. Nakamura actually is a in 2025. The style of Nakamura is still leaps better than what Karrion Kross is giving out. At least you get variation of moves. It's the lack of variation that made me annoyed. It was more like it was rest holds, Saito suplexes, methodical pacing, choking on the ropes. You know, it was more that stuff, and we didn't get anything more from that. Sammy did his best to hold up his end of the bargain. By the end of the day, man, like I get it. If nothing comes from this, I get it. I like the guy, but I'm having an honest truth. This is like therapy. This is like when the therapist goes, is this how you want to tell me? No. Just push the guy. Nah, man. Like, watch the Gunther match and CM Punk. The style that Karrion's trying to do was done right later on.
Yeah. I hate to do this to him because he is someone I'm a fan of. I think that he does give great stuff, but I realized this like last year during the New Day rivalry. I was like, I'm a lot more interested in Karrion Kross when he's not wrestling. Before the bell rings, I'm very entertained by him. I understand why the fans are behind him based on his backstage segments, based on his promos. But podcast
appearances as well.
He is a certified and then the bell rings wrestler. Certified. He's got the stamp. He's got the stamp now.
He's what they tried to tell us LA Knight was. LOL. Right?
Yep.
With the bell rings.
What people try to say LA Knight was, what really Bray Wyatt was, but he's like another level above Bray Wyatt because at least Bray Wyatt has the matches with Bryan Danielson. Now you're in the ring with the equivalent of Bryan Danielson for this generation of WWE,
right?
And you have not come anywhere close to the worst Fiend versus Bryan Danielson matchup.
Right, that's what you nailed it right. At least when a quote unquote bad wrestler's like, oh, here's like when Nash is bad, but you can go, well, look at his Brett matches, his Shawn matches.
Look at Shawn Michaels,
yeah. So in WWE, you've got like the NXT Fatal 4-Way or the Finn Balor match to hang your hat on. How many years ago was that? He had no hair back then. That's how long ago it was. This is 2025. This is this century. This is this decade. I can't vouch.
It's nothing on the main roster. Nothing on the main roster for him to hang his hat on. Like you could say, oh, he had some good matches in NXT, but he's been on the main roster for 4 years. He had a 1 year break when he got released, and then he's come back, and now 3 straight years he has not gave us anything even really good on the main roster.
Make him a tag wrestler. I think just put him in the tag division. Who's struggling? We'll pick a wrestler. Let him babysit an Austin Theory-esque wrestler who failed as well, and then make him a tag team. I don't know, but as a singles wrestler, I'm now being honest because I was like, give it a chance. They gave him a chance. It just, man, it sucks to say this. I rarely do this because I'm on the money when it comes to a wrestler. Like, I told you guys. No, I got egg on my face.
Josh, what did you think about Kross versus Sammy?
The match was boring as fuck. I mean, not much to say. And then honestly, even when they announced it for SummerSlam, I was the first one to say like, oh, they putting Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn on SummerSlam. They putting the third matchup on the PLE. I was like, oh boy, like I'm like, man. You could tell they're struggling to try to get matches in SummerSlam, and they're putting this on that. And you guys made the points. He's a very likable guy. I know him in real life as well. Very likable guy. He's very respectful. He even responds to fans on social media.
He does.
You know, like a lot of super obviously, you know, a lot of people they do scale back just because of the interactions, but he responds to like almost everybody. Even if he reacts to a comment and everything, very active. But when it comes to his in-ring stuff, I just think when it comes down to it, he's very one-dimensional, and I think that's the best way I could really say it when it comes to his style. Where it's like you're not gonna, you know, I think a lot of people get confused with like the whole aspect of like, oh, flippy moves. We're not asking for flippy moves. You don't have to be a flippy wrestler to be a good wrestler, because there's guys who are flippy wrestlers who lack the psychology in ring that's all they do. That doesn't make it good. And I think with Cross, I think there's just certain things about it that there's a big disconnect, obviously, when it comes to his in-ring stuff, where it's like, yeah, he's more of a striker, right? I think he's more of that kind of wrestler, right? Kind of like a John Moxley kind of style, but Moxley is obviously better because we've seen him do more. But with him, it's more one-dimensional, where it's like, all right, we see you do this, we see you do the suplex stuff, but then it's like, what else do you have? And then I feel like that's where it stops, you know. And it's unfortunate because he's a likable guy. I was over with him for a reason, because he could talk well, you know, he presents himself well. But you know, when it comes to WWE, obviously there's people who will say like, oh, the wrestling doesn't matter, none of this really matters. But if you're somebody who constantly wants to be pushed, and the crowd hears you, and then you kind of don't get that results with management, they're never going to push you no matter what. Like, you still need the wrestling in a way for you to like really get that big push. And, you know, now you've been hearing the reports of like, oh, you know, he hasn't been offered a new deal and all this stuff. Maybe that's why. I'm guessing, that's just my guess, but match itself was just very
We're gonna get it in WWE Unreal Season 2. It's gonna be the discussion on carrying costs.
But it was just boring. I'm sorry. It was like, you know, Sami Zayn, you know, there was nothing wrong with what Sami was doing. The finish too, I do agree. You know, it buried Karrion Kross completely. Not only he lost the match, but then the whole thing that you're doing for months of like, you're trying to prove Sami wrong. Sami right. So what was the point? What was the point of that?
Sami was just right, basically. You got some feedback a little bit on your mic, Josh. I don't know if it's something you can fix up, but it's like every couple of minutes. But otherwise, it was fine. But we do got Antoine. Antoine kind of saying what Sat was telling me yesterday. He was like, they could have put Zelina versus Julia on card instead of this match. And I will tell you the same thing I told Sat. Julia is really good in the ring, but she's not over with this crowd. And Zelina is not good in the ring, and she's also not over with this crowd. They were better off on SmackDown in an arena with 10,000 people than 50,000 people where only 10,000 of them knew who they were.
Huge sign, man. But that match over delivered. That's like night and day with the first match. I'm almost like, what the who produced the match? This is what I'm talking about. Producers. You can't say, oh, Raquel got good. Never Raquel. Zelina got good all of a sudden or whatever. It's like the structure of the match was completely different. They're allowed to do more, and guess what? You know, Buffalo showed up for them as well. It's like the aligning of stars.
I think it was Newark. What's the difference? Yeah, what's the difference?
It was Newark. I don't want to say Buffalo.
Newark, New Jersey. It was a Prudential Center.
My bad. I'm not one of those people who thinks everyone from the East are the same. I'm sorry.
He's like, New York, New Jersey, doesn't matter.
Listen, some people say that. Some people say that. Not me. Not me. I give respect. Like, I know you East people are very diligent about where you're from. Don't take away someone's identity. I mean, we've been fighting for that for ages.
And Buffalo and Newark, they're like, they're like 10 hours apart.
Understood. My bad. I must have misheard where they were. I was like, you guys in Newark? Okay, hello. Newark, you showed up. Salute to everyone in New Jersey, because I feel like that match does a lot in the next few months. I feel like that might be, if Julia does get bigger reactions or whatever, I'll call this match the year zero of when she started hitting her strides in terms of like getting more comfortable, because she could do more than what she's been allowed to do, you know?
And Chilling with Chase agrees. He says, Julia versus Zelina, you would have heard a pin drop when they came out. Yeah, like they're still working on getting Julia over. And I think that's why they put her with Kiana James. Do I think she needs Kiana James?
No, she doesn't need anyone. She can cut.
Let's leave that to the jury, I guess. I don't know.
But I understand this. The thing is, I'm of two minds. I understand. I'm of the mind of like, Julia doesn't need anyone. She's doing well by herself. Her English has gotten better. They were doing those vignettes that were working. But I get it that Kiana James, you need to slot her somewhere. The whole flirtation thing she had with Adam Pearce, we're moving on from that. The tag division need more people. But
True.
I feel like it's like a rite of passage. Every Asian wrestler in that company go through a phase where they have a mouthpiece. You get a Boogs, a Sami Zayn, a Paige, and now Kiana James not enter the frame.
This is true. This is very true. At this point, Michael Cole announced, and the attendance for night one was 53,161. And for the fourth show in a row since last Thursday, they honored Hulk Hogan once again and spoke about his success at SummerSlam. He's undefeated at SummerSlam. They showed Nick Hogan in the crowd. His father passed away, so condolences to him, but he also put someone in a vegetative state. So,
yeah. And then on social media, when they showed the clip of Nick Hogan being in the crowd, someone put on top of that a Christian Cage promo.
Well done. Well done.
They said, I heard your father passed away.
Well done. By Psycho Clown and Mr. Iguana were shown in the crowd as well after their debut on SmackDown the night prior. We see a clip of Jade Cargill meeting some fans backstage and giving them upgraded seats. This was a sponsored segment. Those people did not look like they were Jade Cargill fans, and we're just like, oh yeah, thanks. Cargill's gear were for the next matchup were the colors of the Jamaican flag. Shout outs to her for that, as she was challenging Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship next. Both women were cheered during the introductions, but I think that Stratton got the bigger applause than Cargill. We did see Cardi B applauding Cargill as she was introduced. Cargill had the early edge until Stratton bumped her off of the apron and then hit a tope suicida to the outside. Stratton followed up with a great looking senton bomb in the ring. It looked like she would have landed on her head, but rotated just in time to actually hit the move. Cargill blocked Stratton's handspring elbow and followed up with a big boot and then hit the Eye of the Storm spinning slam for a 2 count. They traded moves, which led to Stratton hitting a Falcon Arrow. Stratton hit a handspring elbow and then a very not looking good Alabama Slam. She tries to go for the prettiest moonsault ever, but Cargill got her boots up. Cargill then sets her up and hits Jaded, but she turns Jaded over for the pinfall too close to the ropes. So she seems to have the match won, but when she rode into the cover, she basically puts Stratton's foot on the ropes. She goes too far back to the point that Stratton's shoulders is up as well. Like, it was just like, I'm okay. Y'all got me out of this. Like, I heard throughout the matchup, there was some loud spot calling. This felt like a very choreographed matchup to begin with. But once she put her foot on the rope for the rope break, I was like, yeah, I think I'm out of this one. Cargill hits a choke slam and took Stratton to the corner. She tries to set up for a top rope Jaded middle rope Jaded. Stratton's able to get her feet onto the top rope. She basically rotates over and counters into an avalanche hurricane rata of sorts. She then sets up Jade for the prettiest moonsault ever 1, 2, 3. Tiffany Stratton defeats Jade Cargill in just over 7 minutes. 7 minutes 5 seconds was this matchup, as Tiffany Stratton retains the WWE Women's Championship. A very surprising result in my eyes. I really thought that this was going to be Jade Cargill's win here. Tiffany Stratton has kind of found her stride in regards to like these PLE matches being kind of shorter sprints instead of a longer matchup, which I don't think she did that well with her and Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. There was a lot of clunky spots in this one, but it did get better down the stretch, and the crowd actually got into the last couple of moves and the finish to the matchup. They were counting off the 1, 2, 3 as Tiffany retained the title here. All of that to say, 2 3/4 stars. This was kind of on par with what we've seen from Jade Cargill, and I want to say this might be WWE. Like, as far as like booking wise, Tiffany beating Jade in 7 minutes when Jade Cargill was hyped up as this big signing for the women's division. She's a big star coming into WWE. She wins the Queen of the Ring. She's been in one of the better women's rivalries for the year with her and Naomi as well, mainly due to Naomi. Don't get me wrong. And you know, I've been one to be, I've gotten a moniker of being very overly critical of Jade Cargill's booking. I'm not overly critical in Jade Cargill. I think I just expect Jade to be what she is. She looks like a movie star. She looks like an action figure. She is just this kind of level in the ring. She's not going to get up to this level. I think she's at the spot where she's going to be. She has some athleticism. She can do really, really good power moves, but the way WWE has booked her has been a disservice to her from the very beginning. She should have started in NXT. She should have got the reps there, became an NXT champion or NXT Women's North American champion, and just slowly progress her to the point of like this year should have been her debut on the main roster. You pretty much did that by putting her in a tag team for a whole year before she eventually becomes a single star. And I just expected they were going to follow through on the push, but her losing in 7 minutes clean, this feels like WWE telling us as fans they have buyer's remorse. They realize that Jade is not in the position that they thought she would be at this point, so they are going with the person that they have groomed better for this spot in Tiffany Stratton. This match, it was kind of there. It was very overly choreographed. It felt like an NXT matchup that feels like step by step ran through for weeks upon weeks. And when it comes to fruition, it just feels overly choreographed. It feels like something that does not have the context of an actual good PLE matchup. I can't say this is good. I won't say it was bad, but it was kind of just there. Seth, what did you think?
Okay. Trust me, when I'm teetotal, but I don't smoke crack. But I actually enjoyed the match because I knew what they were trying to do. It was a cheat code match. They just put all the big moves and packed it in 7 minutes. And because they did that, there was like minimum mistakes. But because they did that, I was like, I'm good. It was like 7 minutes packed to stuff. You went outside, you did flying action, and did the big stuff. Jade did some athleticism. You're right. I think when she rolled her up after Jade did, that's when like the spell broke. Right?
Yeah, I was kind of just like, I was like, this is actually pretty good. And then she did that. I was like, yeah, I'm out. I was like, yeah, it really was. It was like those hocus pocus when they put the parents in the oh, this pretty moves. Oh, this is good. Oh no, this is just a choreograph.
Because you could hear an audible gasp with the overarching of the legs, and you hear everyone was taken out of it because you heard a little smack. You heard that, and then luckily the referee saved that. The referee was like, nope. Foot's on the rope. She couldn't even pretend. The referee like, I can't even pretend. You fucked up.
Commentary couldn't even pretend. Commentary was like, oh yeah, that's inexperience coming through. You know, she overarched and put the foot on the rope. Yeah, that's inexperience.
Yeah, so again, the match for what it was, like I told you, it reminded me of Goldberg Lesnar, where you can tell it wasn't this finisher spam, but it's like we put in all the bits that'll get like crowd into it and excited. So they didn't even get an in-ring promo during the whole setup of the match. It's like they checked out. I don't know what happened between King of the Ring and the actual match. Someone went, you know what? I'm just not even gonna bother. Both of them on the microphone. It's gonna be hit or miss. Let's not even try. They even had at one point. They even said that they even got Chelsea Green to help the feud a bit. It's like, let's get Chelsea Green to be the conduit to get us interested in the feud. What do you do with Jade? They Lex Lugered her. The Lex Express has been derailed. Or the Storm Express has been knocked off. Velocity.
But at least Luger won by count out. Like. He didn't lose clean,
dude. You know it is. When that happened, people said, "I'm like, Bianca is going to get her title back, guys." That's what it is now. Because it could have just done Jade versus Bianca, true. But I think by doing that, because what is a common denominator between the spotty performances in matches? It's her character. Maybe it's just time they do this. You know what? This babyface experiment is not it. Because even if she won the title, thank you guys for supporting me. For everyone that hates on you, we didn't want that promo. We want the bitches back. The bitch is black. Shout out to Jazz. We want that. We want that personality.
Both miscast as baby faces. Both of them.
Yeah,
Tiffany Stratton needs to turn heel even more than Jade Cargill. But yeah, they're both miscast.
I was listening to Chris Van Vliet interview with Mr. Anderson, because Mr. Anderson is one of the trainers for Tiffany Stratton. And when they asked her what she liked, she was, she was quiet. Because Anderson, when he's not hyperactive, he's quiet, very low sounding. He goes, she was quiet, and take no offense, but she didn't have any charisma. She didn't. He said it himself. He's shocked. Like he goes, I have everyone do promos. I would have to ask her one day. He goes, well, what is it like? Well, it was bad. Mr. Anderson confirms, but he wasn't burying it. He's trying to say, like, oh, look how far she's come. He's like, I look at wrestlers.
Maybe drop my camera.
Now you're gonna listen to it, right? That's one of the reasons I listen to him. Like, oh, you trained Tiffany. I want to hear the nugget. He said that there's wrestlers where you see, you're like, oh, they're gonna make it, and then other wrestlers you don't know. He goes, Greg Gagne, friend of the family. He called me up. He got this girl. She's gone a long way, because Van Vliet goes, which is a wrestler, that's the shocked you. He goes, no offense to her, but I didn't think she had a lot of charisma. Like she didn't, show. No, I think he said personality. I'm using the C word. I think she didn't show a lot of personality. I think, and I could tell. Me and you watch NXT. We knew with the Paris Hilton character was very one-dimensional, but it's because she was great in the ring and she had a reps with Sari. We bought in stock. Even though a lot of people are like, oh, she's MAGA. I was like, you guys are idiot. We knew she's MAGA. I mean, you look at her.
Yeah, we already knew that.
She's from Minneapolis, you idiot.
That's kind of what you expect.
Oh, Sydney Sweeney's MAGA, you idiot. Her parents are MAGA. What do you think she'll be? The only one that's not MAGA, you idiot. As Bailey would say, you idiot. Of course she's MAGA. She's blonde. She loves a German guy, you idiot. A certain dictator will be happy. Should have went there, but still, we knew she was very one-note, and even the character works because it's like, it's a basic common denominator character. She's got no redeemable qualities. I can't wait for her and Fallon Henley to reheat their feud. That's one of my favorite feuds. Her as a heel all the way. I blame Australia, and I blame people's obsession with blonde women. That's why we cheer her. Woo, blonde, big boobs, woo. But she is improving in the ring. I'm not selling my stock in her because you got a lot of people with propaganda because the whole Charlotte thing trying to tell me something. I'm like, I can see with my own eyes. She's gonna be, one of the ones.
Yeah, Jade's been wrestling for 4 years, y'all. She started in March of 2021. Like it's over 4 years now.
And it's been 4 or 5 years. Same for like Tiffany, and it's night and day. They both got the same amount of experience, and one's a champion and the other one is gonna hopefully turn heel. Bianca, we need you back. Get the title, okay? I'm ready.
Yeah, I can't agree with this more. Like the SmackDown Women's division are struggling without Bianca Belair, and the fact Naomi. That just moved over Naomi. Yeah,
they need Naomi. Imagine the cash in after that match. You'd have been like, I would have been like, I am Like I'd be like on a Schwarzenegger. It's like get a feeling of sensation of coming. I would be like happy. Like it didn't happen.
So, Josh, what did you think about Tiffy and Jade?
I mean, yeah.
He's like, let's not make a meal out of it. What time is it? Type promo. Yeah.
Wait, that's it? That's all Josh had to say. He
What
says,
time?
I mean, yeah.
What time is it? It's Tiffy time. Even that should be reduced to a watch. She had more to her.
She just reads her watch. That's her promo. Her
It's
promo
yep.
is just reading a watch.
It used to be, it was like a throwaway line she used a few times in NXT, but it became a whole personality. In WWE, you have to be simple. You have to be bazunga. Ah, I love it. Say that thing again.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
Tiffy time. I'm still Tiffy. I still cape for Tiffy. It's still Tiffy time in my house, man. Like, you know.
We got Chuck Berries with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says, do you guys think that WWE is having second thoughts on the Jade Cargill project? I mean, the finish to this matchup made me go, yeah, they're having buyer's remorse. I think they regret the fact that they made such a big deal about her training, and we're not gonna have her debut. You know, it's not her fault, but she didn't receive the proper training. So we're that's what she's doing right now. That's why she's off TV. When she's ready,
regressed.
she's ready.
Regressed. So what does that tell you? Is that right? That should be a blame on WWE. She's regressed.
Tony Khan's doing this.
No, you missed. You gotta get the coffee. You gotta do it with the coffee.
Yeah. He's like, and that's why I didn't pay her more. And I'm a billionaire. And I'm a billionaire.
They matched her deal. That's the thing. They matched her money. So she went to WWE because it was the bigger brand. And look, she's been exposed more. Her in-ring stuff has been exposed more. And you know, this is something that me and Sid have been talking about for a while. Where it's like, do we think that this is the best we're gonna get at Jade? Honestly,
yeah, of course.
It's gotten to a point like this is what we're gonna get from her, right? And it's just like, am I happy with what I've seen? No. Are there ways they could kind of cover that? Yes. The problem is that the way they use Jade too is like, what I notice with her matches too is she's always coming from behind, right? Like they get a lot of offense on her, and then she's always comes up like from behind, and then she wins, right? But my thing is like that's not who she is. She should be dominant. She should be a badass. That's what she was, and that's what she was in AEW, and that's why it worked. You don't see that version either from Jade.
Nope, it's what Sid said. It's Goldberg 2003.
It's exactly like over 2003.
It is definitely Goldberg 2003. She was WCW Goldberg in AEW, but just on a lesser scale because they didn't want to put her in the main title picture and put her against the top stars because they wanted her to be the strong beast that she was. For right now, I think it's at 5.56 on Cage Match, which isn't the worst rating ever. I don't think it's gonna get as high as a 6 or 7 like Dre gave it though. I don't know. To each his own. Watching stuff says no.
7 is very generous. 7.
That's generous.
7?
Yeah, that's generous.
I'm saying, but 7 in a 7-minute match. What did you see? That was a 7. He
gave her points. He gave the match points for every minute that it went on. He's like, that's 1 point. He's like 60 seconds. That's 2 points. Watching stuff says, nah, it's a setup for a rematch. That leg rope spot. That leg rope spot is the reason she'll get a rematch. I can see her getting a rematch. Does that make sense? Because she put Tiffy's feet on the rope. Like, if you watched it, like that, I'm like Seth said, like that took me out of. I was like, this is way too choreographed. This is choreographed.
Shoulder was up, so it's like it doesn't even make any sense.
Choreographness.
Yeah, like it doesn't even make it because even that happened and then her shoulder was up, so it's like you could use the rope thing, but then it's like, well, her shoulders weren't down either, so it's like, what are we doing?
But you know what I love about this though? At the end of the day, it is a wealthy woman's hobby. She doesn't need to do this. Have you seen her husband, her husband's family? They own stuff. She owns Jade herself co-owns a women's catch league or wherever it is. This is like a legit rich woman saying like, I decided to do this wrestling thing may lead somewhere. It's legit a hobby. And I don't know if like Triple H. I don't know if their mind are like, you're like Bill Goldberg, you're just using this as a springboard. You don't have the passion for the business, blah blah, all that kind of stuff. You're not Roxanne Perez, has to drive from Laredo, Texas on the bus, go to Houston, Texas, and wrestle Booker T's wrestling school.
She paid her dues.
I don't know. She paid her dues. Shucky ducky quack quack quack, all that kind of stuff. But no, Jade is the airport test BS. She is a star. She looks like a star. Continue the investment. Just turn her heel. We haven't seen what if she flops as a heel. It's kind of like Austin Theory. Austin Theory, I rag on him because he sucks as a babyface and he'll suck as a heel. Like he's not a vibe. But we've seen Jade be a heel, so like we already know what we can get out of her. If we can get that Jade in WWE, great, Yeah. But after what they're doing with Blake Monroe over in NXT, I don't know if they can book heels anymore in WWE.
It's rough out here right now.
It is. It's a good thing she changed her name. I can always say I love Mariah May. Blake Monroe, like the jury's out on her, right? But Mariah May, oh my gosh, from an AEW world champion who won the title at Wembley Stadium, and
don't tell her agent Nick that. He ain't gonna be too happy. He gonna have another crash out on Twitter.
Oh man. Don't get me started on that guy. We did get a trailer for The Smashing Machine, which is The Rock's new movie. Looks great. I do want to check that out.
That's not doing wrestling. You see a trailer, you're like, yeah, he's not. You see why he's not coming out to wrestling? He's doing good movies again, guys. He's caring. He cares again. He saw the
A24 movie. It's his, I believe it's his first A24 movie. It looks good. I like the vibe of it. It kind of fits like that thing. Like obviously, whoever doesn't know the character he's playing, Mark Kerr, whoever doesn't know his story. It's not a happy ending. That's the best way I could say. Like, yeah. So I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be really good.
And everyone's everyone's got The Rock fucked up as an actor. Like I never really fell into the propaganda. I knew you got into a comfort zone. You can get in it's like work. When you get to a certain position, you're like, I know all the hits. I can just coast. He's been coasting for ages, and then everyone bullied him to get out of his comfort zone because I think he's a good actor. And Batista is killing it, changed his body. Batista doing what The Rock did. Rock, when he had longer hair and he was skinny as whatever. Rock did that. Rock goes, I did that first. That was me. All you kids are now turned 12 or 15 are just like bullying the discourse. The Rock is a good actor, and he's gonna show you there. Like there's a reason why he went to Hollywood. He's got layers. We need to find a boss. It takes a good actor to do that. Because people were putting in number 3 as an actor. I was like, The Rock may try. Rock's going for that throne. He's like, man, I'm gonna be the best number 2 actor there is. Because Batista's Batista, man. Like I can't look him for the top spot. Batista is dedicated to the craft, man. Scarily.
Because Batista plays different roles. He doesn't play Drax the same
in every
like his horror films. Like Rock is The Rock. Hobbs is a brand, is The Rock. Like Great Iron Gang, it's The Rock as a football coach. Be Cool is The Rock as a gay bouncer.
I love that. I love that character.
It's just The Rock. It's The Rock in different roles, and even the best actors kind of get into that mode. Robert Downey Jr. has been Robert Downey Jr. in a lot
Iron
of
Man
his
everywhere.
roles
He's
for
been
the
Iron
last
Man
2
everywhere.
years.
He's been Iron Man everywhere.
Al Pacino's another one. He's been Al Pacino in all of his roles since like the late 90s. Like, yeah, these actors kind of get into that mode. I don't think he's the most like offensive of them. Like Ryan Reynolds, I feel Ryan Reynolds is probably more offensive.
Deadpool everywhere.
In just Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool in every movie he's in.
But then again, he was Deadpool and Van Wilder. It's just that he's got the Jason Lee personality. He stole from Jason Lee, who's Brody Lee's brother. Not really. He stole from Jason Lee, who riffed off Chevy Chase. It's kind of like a copy of a copy is now a bastard or an incest child. I don't know.
Speaking of incest styles, we got the next matchup on the card. Well, we did see Stephanie McMahon in the card. no relation to what we were just no relation to what we were just saying. I'm not gonna go there. Cardi B was next to Drewski as well in the crowd. We see Bunny XO, who is the wife of Jelly Roll, as he is next up in action here. Jelly Roll teaming up with Randy Orton to verse the team of Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. Early on, we see Jelly Roll actually getting some offense in on Logan Paul when Logan Paul decides to tag in Drew McIntyre, and he's like, oh shit. He tries to hype himself up when Randy Orton asks for the tag. The Jelly gets in his face, and Drew told him that today was the day that the music would die. We get some offense from Jelly Roll. He starts getting in a few jabs on Drew McIntyre until McIntyre delivers a Glasgow kiss and gets the better of him. He got some offense in on Logan Paul, actually doing a strut into an elbow drop. He did a body slam as well, so he was looking fine with those moves here. After Drew got the better of Jelly Roll, though, Paul tagged in and started hammering down on the country music star. He started talking his trash. He basically gave them the ground and pound, started posing on him in a very erotic way. We get fuck you Logan chants as the heels beat down on Jelly, as the crowd was very much into Jelly Roll. We got we want Randy chants. Jelly was able to chuck Drew McIntyre out of the ring, allowing him to make the hot tag to Randy Orton. Randy Orton starts running wild to a loud reaction from these fans out here. They're going crazy for Randy as he hits the power slam. He hits the draping DDT. He sets up for the RKO, but Paul is able to pull McIntyre out to safety. Orton goes outside. He gave McIntyre a back suplex on the announce table. He did the same to Logan Paul, but the distraction by Paul allows McIntyre to hit a Claymore kick. So basically Jelly Roll is on his own. Paul is able to punch Jelly Roll from behind. He hits him in the shoulder, not in the face with the titanium punch. I don't know if that was like a ruling by Jelly Roll. He didn't want to get punched in the face or not, but I'll give you this. Jelly Roll took the spot of probably the whole show, where Logan Paul sets him up on the announce table. He grabs 2 Prime bottles. He puts on sunglasses. He smashes the Prime bottles together and then hits this spectacular frog splash from the ring post, off the ring post through the announce table. We get big holy shit chants from the crowd. The crowd is going crazy after this, as Logan Paul just gave us the spot of the night, the viral moment of the night. Officials check on Jelly Roll as the heels back in the ring are working over Orton. The crowd seemed distracted though, as officials helped Jelly to his feet and helped him make his way towards the ramp. He starts getting emotional. He starts crying. He's looking over at his wife. The fans are cheering when Jelly Roll got to his feet, but they also seemed distracted by something else, to the point where McIntyre banged the top of the ring post to get them focused again. With Orton down, Jelly Roll shunned off the officials, not wanting to leave his partner basically on his own here. So Jelly Roll returns. He gets the hot tag and he starts running wild. He eventually hits a big choke slam on Logan Paul, laying him out. He then delivers the black roll slam on Drew McIntyre. The fans at this point are on their feet. They're going crazy. They were into everything Jelly Roll was doing. They were singing his name, Jelly Roll, Jelly Roll. Jelly then brought Paul off the top rope with a power slam. He only gets a 2 count. Drew then comes out of nowhere. He hits a Claymore kick onto Jelly Roll. Orton then takes out Drew with an RKO, but then Logan Paul chucks Orton into the ring post, taking him out of this matchup. He then goes to the top rope and he hits Jelly Roll with a frog splash that they are now calling the Paul from Grace. 1, 2, 3, Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre pick up a surprising win here. You know, with any celebrities, you always think they are going to get the victory here, but I wouldn't call this a good matchup, but this was a very well laid out matchup and way better than it had any right to be. I would say out of all the middle portion of the show, this one was the one that was laid out well, that felt like a premium live event matchup, despite the lack of experience on Logan Paul's part. I thought that he was probably this is something rare because I haven't said this a lot in 2025. Logan Paul was probably the best part of this matchup. The spectacular frog splash, his work selling for Jelly Roll, the ending with the Paul from Grace. I thought he was the best here. I thought Orton and Drew worked really well with each other, and Jelly Roll did what he had to do here. It was inoffensive. They accomplished what they wanted to accomplish here. I gave this 3 stars, and it went 17 minutes, and it never felt like that. Josh, what did you think about this tag team matchup? Oh, you're muted, Josh.
My bad.
There you go.
Hey, because Prince was here, that's why he was barking. No, the match was fine. Like the match was better than it had, like you said, it had any business being. I was surprised with the end result because I really thought Orton and Jelly Roll would win, but as far as like celebrity matches, am I the biggest fan of it? Not really, but I think it's one of those things where in WWE it's become a staple. As long as as the company has been around, basically ever since BKM took over, it's always been the thing. So it's not something I'm always going to be angry. I'm not going to really be angry about. Do I want to see it? Do I want to see every celebrity wrestle? No. But in this case, Jelly Roll is a big fan, of the product, and you could tell he's a really big fan. So I'm forgivable when it comes to stuff like that. But that big spot he took from the table, goddamn, like props to him, because I don't think I would have done that shit. But yeah, I mean, again, the match did what it was supposed to do. Surprising result. That's yeah, it was entertaining.
That
Sid, can you do me a favor? Can you put up that picture of Jelly Roll and Drew McIntyre? Put it up for a second.
I'll upload it again, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. That face has been making me laugh the last few weeks. Every time he gets berated, he has that abused cashier face. Right? He's like a shop stir clerk.
Cashier.
Yeah. He has this face like he's always looking like, man, this is pushing me about. I'm just gonna get that. He's just been making me laugh with them faces. And yeah, the abused cashier face. Drew's like, you put in the wrong stew, dude. And he's like, what you mean, partner? What did I do? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna sing you a little song. Don't abuse me, don't me, Lord. Yeah, that face.
You got a country music future, sure. That was really good.
Thank you. Listen, I'm Shabuti, not Shabuzi. You're Shabuti. I love your booty, Shabuti. Yeah, Jelly Roll reminds me of Eugene. Yeah, hitting your favorite stars, big moves. Yeah, he's got a decent choke slam. Well done. He choke slams like Izzy Dame. Congratulations. It was a match. He's not Kevin Green. For me, Kevin Green's like top 5, one of the greatest like celeb or whatever turn wrestler, sports star turn wrestler. Because Kevin Green was doing good in WCW. Yeah. I mentioned Kevin Green because he never really won matches, so I'm happy that Jelly Roll lost. So you should get Kevin Green. He is at,
I wouldn't say he's at the Kevin Green level, but
no.
He's at the Karl Malone level.
That's what I meant. I meant like as in a celebrity that loses. I meant like Kevin Green was doing. He could have, because I read that, because I was asked why he never became a pro wrestler. He got offered more contract at NFL. Fair enough. He wanted to become a wrestler. Then he got offered a new contract with a new team. And he goes, you know what? How much you want to pay me? I'm sorry, guys. Wrestling's my dream. I want to do it, but they're giving me big bucks. I'm going to go there. You know what I'm saying? Bounce. Bye. Can't wrestle anymore. Sorry. Can't come out anymore. Mommy says I have to stay home. Yeah, the match was what it was. And I'm happy that Drew get to win, because I remember the last time Drew McIntyre wasn't looking up the lights. What, WrestleMania? And Logan, well, yeah, hats off to him. But then again, where was that Logan part at WrestleMania? That's what confuses me. If AJ Styles and Dominic have a great match tonight, I'm going to ask the same question to you in a group chat. I'm like, where was this AJ Styles kind of, it was a phoned-in match. Him and Logan Paul's a phoned-in match because everyone was actually excited. They said, "Oh, AJ has great match with non-wrestlers." They use Shane McMahon as a barometer. Even I feel like it's Shane, then LA Knight, because the LA Knight match was good. People overlooked that. That was LA Knight's coming that part because they're like, LA Knight can't wrestle. But LA Knight showed out.
That was a good match. Yeah.
And LA Knight is the king of multi-man matches. If it's a fatal four-way, you're all gonna say he always shows up. That's what I'm saying. Like, is his domain? He's like the Brody King, or like put him in the fatal four-way. You're gonna be talking about him, LA Knight, Brody King. We need to give Sat his own show. They try. I always get shows canceled. Don't do that. I'm like a great feature artist.
Sir. It's never you.
I'm a good feature artist. I want to get a whole album. My album would tank. I'm just good in features. You know what I'm saying? It's True Heel Heat featuring Sat Niangi. Hi guys. The pressure's not on me. I can just do a little, my 15 ball. And then I can get out.
I earlier today, because he got a new number, I gave Seth the link to the flagship podcast, so he knows. I told him earlier he could come on the flagship any Saturday he has free. He doesn't even need to announce it to me. I would like him to announce it so I can promote him, because he's got his fans that will watch the show. But he has the open range. He has the open range to come on whenever he wants.
I appreciate you give me the keys. It's kind of like, here's the keys to the kingdom. Here's your spare keys. Have been cut. I was like, oh, let's my other keys. Because here's your other key. Don't lose this in the future. Come whenever. And I appreciate that. No, I take that in my whole heart. I will definitely, when the schedule permits, I'll start, because we initially had a monthly kind of deal where every other monthly, it was meant to be like a wrestling daily thing. And then, I haven't really lived up to that spot. But I'm happy to be doing the SummerSlam review of you guys.
Thank you as always, good brother. Yeah,
but what's next? Can we ask what's next for these guys? I mean, what do you hypothesize? Because that is,
I think
what
they're gonna do.
Right?
They're gonna do Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. This result convinced me that they're going, because Triple H said on the post show that this is not going to be the end of them working with Jelly Roll. That he's going to do more stuff with WWE. So I think they specifically did this result to set up Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. Jelly Roll will probably win there.
Fair enough. Props to Jelly Roll for losing weight, because when I was trying to watch SummerSlam again this morning, I accidentally clicked to last year's SummerSlam. All of a sudden, you got the Miz in the audience saying about Cleveland, and then Jelly Roll was in the audience. I was like, Jelly Roll performed it. Remember, I didn't watch the beginning of the show. Jelly Roll, Triple H comes out, and then he goes to Jelly Roll. I'm like, Jelly Roll sings and he wrestles? And I went, wait a minute, because I fast forwarded, because I don't really care. And the Miz is in the crowd. Wait, and then when the first match started, Dominic, Mysterio, and Liv, aren't you injured? Oh shit, it's the wrong show.
He's like, I turned on the which is very easy to do on Netflix with WWE. It's very easy to go on to, you just look up SummerSlam and it takes you to 2024 before it takes you to
I misspoke. I meant Dom and Rhea all buddying up. I was like, Dom and Rhea? Wait, what's it? And I was like, oh no, this is last year. Yeah, because they all the stage always look the same. It's bright, it's outside, whatever, stadium show, whatever. But what's next for Randy? Is Randy gonna have a crash out? Like, I feel like, is this meant to be Randy's last big moments? And this should be like a case to feud with Cody, if Cody's still a face.
Yeah, I would say that maybe we get, if Cody wins tonight, we're getting Orton to turn on him. I think Orton is going to be like the centerpiece feud for Cody in the second reign if he wins tonight, and that will probably take Cody to the end of the year, similar to the Kevin Owens heel turn took him to the end of the year.
Well, fingers crossed, because that's what Cody needs. And also, it's shocking that Cody had like a year reign and Randy wasn't a fixture in it, as you thought it would be.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Josh, any additional thoughts on this one?
No, I was gonna say maybe, in regards to Jelly Roll, he probably got promoted because they're not doing business with Travis Scott anymore, so they're probably gonna be relying on him more now for the celebrity stuff.
That's true. They're gonna be like, you're our guy. We're strapping the rocket towards you. Everything that we were gonna give to Travis Scott, we're giving to you now.
You gave Cody the shiner. You the one who was fiend. Because he mentions a rapper, so he raps. He's got tattoos like bloody what's his name? The White Iverson guy. What's his name? Wait, my Lexus to speak.
Post Malone.
Yeah, he looks like Post Malone's fat cousin.
Oh my god.
Shit. we got Chuck
Oh my
Berry.
God.
Chuck Berry says, thank you for the super chat donation. He says also, last year the ring announcers were promoting the 2024 King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, but this year those announcers are not on the same energy. I mean, because the King and Queen of the Ring wasn't as good as last year. Like, at least with last year, I remember both finals. I remember one final for being a really good matchup with a botch finish, and I remember the second final being a fine matchup with an awesome finish, with Nia Jax giving the Annihilator to Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, I
Jade Cargill and Asuka, out of all four of those matches, is the worst match. And Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, it felt like they were just giving us an appetizer before they give us the real entree of a real matchup between them with the WWE title on the line. So
I like King and Queen of the Ring as a concept, but it hasn't been executed well. You know, they've had some moments, but before we get to the next match, Bayley, I'm worried about her. If they turn her heel again, she's like Sami Zayn. Is like, you should, you know what? Yeah, I'm happy. You've given me the podcast platform to speak about this. People keep mentioning that when she did the Van Vliet interview, is the fact that she knew she was gonna get taken off WrestleMania when she was talking. She said she couldn't say much, but you can tell she's a bit dejected. And then she mentioned a bit about her contract. The big thing I took away from the interview is her knee injury completely messed her up. Do you remember me and you had a conversation about how Bayley hasn't been moving as quick in the ring? Like, her TV matches are just there. And it's only like in pay-per-views with the right opponents, you see Old Bayley. But Old Bayley's not there unless it's like Lyra or someone that pulls it out of her.
I would say 2025, this is one of her best years in the ring. I think she's been awesome this whole year, even before WrestleMania. In her matches against Lyra for the Intercontinental title, she had a really good performance in the gauntlet that set up the women's tag team title match at WrestleMania. And then since returning, she's been having awesome matches. I thought the Becky matchup on Raw was really good. The Evolution 3-way matchup might be the most underrated WWE match of the year. That was tremendous. And then the 2 out of 3 falls matchup was terrific against Lyra. But I honestly feel like I might have to jump off the Bayley bandwagon if she decides to resign, because they don't love you like that, Bayley. So you need to leave. You need to leave. That's the only way they'll love you again. If you want WWE to love you, if you want them to show you that love, you gotta leave.
Well, what I was gonna say is she said in the Van Vliet interview, her knee injury is a lot worse than what we know. She couldn't even go into like specifics of what happened, but apparently it was like she was rehabbing and then she had some sort of like setback, and apparently it's her condition, because she said she can't bend her knees and some certain things, so it was that bad. So I want her in AEW because I feel like she's done everything she can do in WWE, and it's time for her to move on.
Yeah, I'm open. Pedro said it best. He's like, they don't appreciate you, girl. Time to leave. Yes, you gotta leave sometimes. Look what it did for Cody. Look what it did for Drew. It could do the same thing for you, but I would love for you to go full speed ahead somewhere else without thinking about what it's gonna do for you to come back. Just think about what you can achieve outside of WWE to prove them wrong. But we did get some boos from the crowd as they showed Triple H at the White House with Donald Trump. They then ran down the card for tonight's show that has a cage match, a TLC match, a street fight, a no DQ matchup, and a triple threat that's no DQ. There's only one regular matchup on this whole card tonight.
Shit, Booker. I'm sorry. Some of that was needed here. I'm sorry. That is like watching money shots of each of your favorite adult stuff. Or in succession. You need to build to that, right? You need a little breather. I'm not gonna be breathing. I'm just gonna be hard throughout the whole thing now, right? I'm gonna be like
He literally put 3 tag team matches on night 1, and then he's got all the steps on night 2.
No, what kind of, you can't book for shit. I'm sorry.
Yo, I
Josh
said
can
it
book.
last night
Sid can
on the
book.
post show. I was like, he is one of the most inept bookers I have ever seen. And his father-in-law is Vince McMahon, who gave us WWE in 2019.
And you know what? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Every time I see him do that, I'm like, I can understand why Vince didn't give you the booking power. He's so ugh. It goes, it is thing PWG, all right? Is it anything else? This Supreme Dragon? Is there anything that Supreme Dragon hasn't done? You know, is it anything else he hasn't? You stop stealing. You know, there was Peter, you know, that style, Adam Cole, you know, yeah, he is inept. How you put all the steps? What you Vince Russo? Like, who's what? That nothing is saying, you know, it is because it's a 2-day show. If it was like a single show, oh, this is great, blah blah. But you had mostly like filler 7-minute matches. There could be great buffers for the big matches. So all the buffers are gone. So you're just saying when TLC happens and everybody's like euphoric high, lost hoarse voice. What's next? Oh, we got Jacob Fatu versus Silas Sikoa in the cage match. Oh shit.
I would have put the Becky and Lyra matchup on this card and put Jade and Tiffy on tonight's card. I would have, and then I probably would have made another switch, like maybe even I'm trying to think what else. I don't
Charlotte
know
Flair match, wherever. Oh no, you need.
No, you need two women's matches on the card, unless you're switching both of the women's matches altogether. But yeah, I mean, strange booking, but here we go. It's time to talk about the main event, what you all been waiting for. CM Punk coming out in his Carolina blue. He is challenging GUNTHER, the Ring General, for the World Heavyweight Championship. Right from the opening of this matchup, it had the big fight feel, y'all. This just felt like a big time matchup. Despite the build kind of being lackluster ahead of the show, you did not have that semblance in this matchup. They wrestled back and forth for a few minutes before GUNTHER eventually dropped Punk with a single chop. He tried to stomp down on Punk, but Punk was able to move out the way. Punk got on offense and targeted GUNTHER's left arm. Punk went to the top, but GUNTHER chopped the back of his leg and then just started battering him. Punk was helpless, upside down in the ropes, but GUNTHER hit several more chops, keeping him inside the ring the entire time. GUNTHER followed with more chops, knees to the midsection, abdominal stretch. Punk countered out of the stretch and went for a GTS, but GUNTHER was able to counter that. We get several counters until GUNTHER hits a big boot. GUNTHER beat down Punk for a while. He eventually gets him into a sharpshooter, basically saying that he's the best in the world. GUNTHER dominated, but every time he got cocky, you saw that Punk was able to get back in control and find an opening. He reversed his sharpshooter that he was cocky into a sharpshooter of his own, where GUNTHER was able to get to the ropes. GUNTHER would pepper Punk with some hard chops to the point that GUNTHER basically split Punk's chest open. He had blood on his chest. They stalled for a moment here as the referee checked on Punk after the sharpshooter. Punk kind of looked gassed in the middle of this, but he kept going. He kept fighting through. The story of the matchup continued with GUNTHER dominating, but Punk not giving up. Punk fought back with a clothesline, but GUNTHER didn't budge. Punk knocked him down with a leg lariat instead. Punk, with his chest bleeding, went for a running knee, but GUNTHER caught him and hits a powerbomb for a 2 count. They traded submission attempts until GUNTHER hit consecutive chops, but Punk came back with a rushing leg sweep, a running knee, and then the bulldog for another 2 count. Punk went to the top, but GUNTHER slammed him off of it and followed up with the pterodactyl splash, not a frog splash, but a pterodactyl splash for 2. GUNTHER clotheslined and exhausted Punk, waited for him to get to his feet, once again showing that cockiness. He hits another clothesline. Punk suddenly got GUNTHER in position for the GTS, but GUNTHER was able to slip out. He hits a powerbomb. He then hits a massive running drop kick, and then followed up with another powerbomb, weak-looking powerbomb, but Punk is able to kick out at 2. He hits another running drop kick and then another power bomb. Punk's able to kick out once again. The match continued at a slow, deliberate pace as Gunther was just beating him down. Gunther takes him finally to the outside. We're like 25 minutes into this matchup, and the first time they went outside would be the difference maker for Punk. As Punk would take advantage of Gunther as he started posing in front of the World Championship, saying this belongs to the Ring General, Gunther. He then goes on top of the announce table and he poses on it. It leads to Punk recovering, where he trips Gunther. He lands face first onto the announce table. Punk was too tired to follow up and sat against the ring to catch his breath. When Gunther comes up and when he reemerges from the announce table, his face is covered in blood. I was like, holy shit, Gunther's bleeding. It was fake put on blood, but still, I got the effect and I wasn't expecting it, so it popped me. Gunther gets in the ring and he starts begging off Punk. Punk is in control of things at this point. Gunther is trying to fight back. He starts running off his offense. He hits the diving elbow after a clothesline. He goes for a GTS, but somehow, some way, Gunther is able to slip out. He goes for a desperation sleeper. It looks like he's about to get the win, but Punk is able to slip out of it. He hits one go to sleep. Gunther is still on his feet. He's teetering over. He gets him up on his shoulder as Gunther is dazed and hits him with a second go to sleep. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk wins, defeating Gunther to become your new World Heavyweight Champion. The referee hands Punk the title, and Punk is just overwhelmed with emotion. He has a smile on his face. He has tears at another point. He's just so amazed that he was able to do it, able to win the World Heavyweight Championship here. It was a great moment. The fans cheering him on after this desperation win. What a match it was. This is in my opinion, I thought that this was fantastic. I thought this is one of the best SummerSlam main events in recent memory. I gave the match 4.5 stars. What a way to end SummerSlam. Or so we thought. The music of Seth freaking Rollins hits, and Rollins comes on to the stage, and he's got his crutches. He's on his crutches. Commentating said that Seth is just out here to tease that when he is ready and healthy, he is coming for CM Punk. I love the shot. How this whole thing was shot was amazing. You see Punk in the ring. He's celebrating with the title. Once Seth's music hits, the smile on Punk's face drops. The crowd pops. Rollins walks out on the crutches with Heyman by his side with the Money in the Bank, issuing a warning to Punk. He acted like he was leaving, but then suddenly Rollins ditches the crutches. He removes his blazer, his blinged out blazer. He takes off his knee brace, and yes, it was all a work. The whole knee injury at Saturday night's main event was setting up for this moment here. Rollins runs down with the briefcase. You see Punk, he's looking around thinking that the Braun Stars are coming, but there's no Braun Stars. Instead, he has to fight off Rollins. He tries to drop him with the GTS, but Rollins is able to fight him off. He starts peppering him with the briefcase, banging it over his head, banging it over his back. He then hands the contract to the same referee that just refereed this matchup, cashing in the Money in the Bank. Immediately, Rollins follows up with a curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk loses the World Heavyweight Championship, and Seth Rollins has successfully cashed in for the second time 10 years later. Seth Rollins, your new World Heavyweight Champion. What a moment to close the show. The ruse of the century, says Michael Cole, as Rollins celebrates with Heyman. Then Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed come out to join them. You get Braun Breaker, who had his knee taped up from the earlier matchup in the night, so he might be injured or at least hurt coming after that matchup because his knee was wrapped and he was limping to the back after the opener. But They all sit cross-legged in front of Punk. You get the Braun Stars basically staring at him and laughing as this new faction, the Vision, if you will, if the trademark is correct, stand tall to close the show, celebrating as they now finally have the power of the World Heavyweight Championship, and CM Punk has been screwed over yet again by Seth freaking Rollins. I loved all of this. This was the highlight of the whole show. This is what the whole show was building up to. This is a WWE special where they hit you with something fun to open. They drop you down to you like thinking that this whole show is going to be mid, and then they bring you back up by the end. Great main event. Like I said, I gave it 4.5 stars. I thought the simplicity of the story of Gunther being in his comfort zone. The mat is sacred. So when the match was in the ring, he dominated Punk. He took 85% of this matchup when it was between the ropes. Once he took things outside the ropes and he showed off his cockiness has been his Achilles heel in all of his losses in WWE. He's only lost 4 times in 6 years. 4 times in 6 years. This is only the 5th time
now, right? Yeah.
This is the 5th time he's lost in WWE. And each and every time you can point to a point in those matchups against Dragunov, against Breaker, against Sami Zayn. You can point to a point, and Cody, you can point to a point where he gets too cocky, and that's the reason why he lost. And it happens here yet again. I honestly would have liked the matchup to go 2 to 3 minutes longer. I think that Gunther should have kicked out of the go to sleep, because it's basically like, you could say, I know there's a lot of people, and I was with Alex, who did not like the match as much as me, where he was like, it was Gunther dominating and Punk hit 3 moves and won the matchup. You can see it in that type of light because he just hits 2 go to sleeps and that's it. If Gunther kicks out of that second go to sleep and then he has to hit 1 more and gets the win, I think it adds a little bit more to the matchup. But I still give it 4.5 stars because I thought Gunther worked it. It's just a brilliant pacing of the matchup. He gave Punk his hope spots, and in the end, I like the simplicity of that story of Gunther's basically cockiness and taking it out of the ring was his Achilles heel, and that's why Punk got the win. Punk was smarter. He didn't work harder. He worked smarter in this matchup outside of just keeping himself alive and surviving everything. But the cherry on top is the cash-in. I like the fact that WWE just followed through on the plan that they had. I just get from this generation or this era of WWE's regime, they want to shock the fans. So I thought they were going to shock the fans by not having Seth cash in here, instead cashing in tonight on Cody and John Cena. But I appreciate them just following through on the plan that they had, because it continues the story of Seth wanting to ruin CM Punk's life and stop him from being the champion. And he now has the power with his group, with the World Heavyweight Championship. So a fantastic close to this show. Seth, what did you think about the main event and the cash-in?
Well, I think Naomi set the precedent of like Swerve cashing in, and everyone assumed that was going to be the trend. And I felt like that should have been an inkling that it would be a bit too much to do the same thing twice. So I am with you. I'm happy they didn't follow through. So in terms of the Gunther and CM Punk match, do you think CM Punk has seen Rocky 4?
This was Rocky 4. I said that's also on the post show last night. I was like, it's basically a movie that CM Punk's apparently never watched.
He should have. I think he has. I feel like someone like AJ Lee would be like, let's watch this, because I feel like he's done Rocky 3, you know, where Moxley was his Clubber Lang, and now he's got his own, Drago, where Drago, you know, Ivan Drago. Drago, Ivan Drago,
Ivan Drago.
Yeah, I would say Ivan Dragunov because I miss Dragunov. The match was like that. I feel like Gunther's character is he's taught to destroy, to annihilate his opponent. They don't teach him defense, so when it comes to him he's not a good defensive wrestler. I hope that's part of the character, because it'll make sense why he's lost 5 times. It's like his hubris and the fact that he's not good at pivoting from a game plan. His game plan is just like destroy. And the moment that it doesn't work, he panics a bit. He's a ring general, but he seems to panic a bit. Gets shook. He already started bleeding. That should have made him more incensed. Instead of, oh no, I'm bleeding.
Yo, the visual of him like being blind. He's checking his nose. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm dazed.
No, we'll fight after. That was a good. It's a shame he lost to Jay Uso. I feel like losing to Jay Uso in WrestleMania took away a bit from losing here. It would have meant a lot more had he not lost. Had he had he faced CM Punk at WrestleMania, beat Punk at WrestleMania.
Oh, I completely forgot Jay. So this is the 6th loss because it's Dragunov, it's Bron, it's Zayn, it's Cody, Jay, and now Punk.
I think they're not counting the Bron one. I think that's because it's NXT. I don't know if you noticed it. I think is Bron erasure.
Yeah, they're saying this is his 4th because they don't count the 2 NXT losses.
You're like, people are like, he was Walter when he lost, right? No, I think he changed his name to Gunther at that point because that was his last feud before the main roster. He was Gunther. It wasn't Walter. It was Gunther.
Yeah. Braun Breaker beat Gunther. It's Dragunov who beat Walter.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, those are 2 different characters. Maybe that's what they're going with. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Again, that it reminded me of the Dragunov match as well, because it was the case of like what the second match when Dragunov finally figured out the formula of how to withstand the offense, and it's almost like it reminds me of when I'm trying to remember. It's weird. John Cena and Kurt Angle had a match in No Way Out, and before John Cena went out, Eddie Guerrero went, if you get in the ankle lock, don't tap out. He's going to frustrate him, and then he's going to make mistakes. So it's kind of like the longer that CM Punk withstand, that's when the chinks in Gunther's armor started to show. It's like he gave all his best offense. Punk wouldn't stay down. For me, it was a New Japan match because I'm like, this is a New Japan main event. Like, this is like all the hallmarks. Starts a bit slow, working, it's building up. And when it gets to the halfway point, all the big moves will make you forget they start off slow because all you remember is, the big spot is this or that, all kind of stuff. I was like, this could be a match in the Tokyo Dome. This would be 5-star in the Tokyo Dome because Gunther got to do all the hits and Punk came back. Old Man Punk or OM Punk, he's had a great run. And also, I'll be remiss if I didn't say I think it was a homage to Fantastic Four, the colors, right? That was like the whole thing. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. People say, oh, storytelling. That is storytelling. It was in that match. Like, you'd be an idiot not to understand it. It reminds me of Bret Hart matches. You watch it and you're like, this limb work, this rest hold, all added up to the match, the finish, and everything like that. Yeah, I thought it was near a masterpiece. So, and the cash in as well. We didn't fall for that. We knew that was gonna happen. But I'm gonna tell you something I just read on X, formerly known as Twitter. Someone goes, Division, they're celebrating on Raw. Punk saying, like Seth saying how smart he was. Then LA Knight comes out. LA Knight comes to the ring, comes inside the ring, and what does he do? He hugs Seth Rollins because Plan B, he helped him throw the match inside the night main event. He's the new member. And this is me. Is Kevin Nash booking this? But at the same time, what is Plan B? You know what? If that didn't happen, I'll salute them for that kind of nugget. It wouldn't make sense because you don't want LA Knight to be a lackey because in his 40s, when you're going to push him? Bron's up clearly to the guy, but it made me laugh when they said that he was Plan B.
That would be just like
Swerve.
You're just throwing stuff at the wall at this
right?
point.
That's hilarious, right?
Josh, what did you think about the main event and the cash-in?
I thought the matchup was great. I thought it was everything it needed to be. Gunther beating the shit out of Punk, and then Punk coming back from behind. I didn't have any issues with it. I could see where people kind of do, where it's like, Punk only did like 2 or 3 moves, but at the same time, he did use a lot of stuff to his advantage, like once it got outside of the ring. So that's why I didn't mind it too much, right? And obviously it threw off Gunther after that. The match itself, I thought it was great. I thought it was a great match. And like I said before with these Punk matches, his biggest arsenal is storytelling. That's how he gets through the matches, right? And almost every single match he's had in WWE has been, I want to say, similar, but they tell a certain story that's what he's relying on. And that's good. That's a good thing for him. That's why, when people talk about like his in-ring work, I tell them all the time, I'm like, his style fits the WWE style, and it's always fit that style. And this match was no different. As far as the cash-in, I mean, the cash-in is cash-in. It was funny. And you know, I thought it made for a great moment. Was it predictable? Yes, but I still think it worked for what they were going for. You know, especially because with Seth, you know, this is something that we did talk about where it's like, do you think it's a work or not? And then I was like, hey, if this is a work, then this is a really good work that they're doing to make it as far as, oh, I messed up my knee during the LA Knight match. I loosed him on purpose. And then our future looks uncertain. So we don't know what's going on. And then him selling that knee injury and then even using his daughter in the ploy. So, I mean, hey, you know, I like the cash in. I like everything about the main event. I like everything about the post match. And I felt like this, in my opinion, this basically saved the show, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this was a mid show that probably I would give like a thumbs down to because it just did not have anything that felt PLE worthy outside of the opener ahead of the main event. But the main event delivered and they gave us a memorable moment that this show is going to be defined by. So that is a passing grade most times for a WWE PLE at this point of 2025. But yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this. This is one of my favorite WWE matches of the year so far, and one of the best moments because CM Punk got screwed over in the end, which I'm here for. Humble his ass.
You know what? Seth Rollins is underrated, man. To this day, people still like put him like as a bottom barrel wrestler, but to do what he does within that style of WWE, and even that moment, because people try to say like he got no or that was an auraful moment. That was a powerful, potent moment. Though he dropped the crutches, the Kaiser Soze-esque reveal that, you know what, I'm not really injured after all that time. Like he was the architect for a reason. He's the heir apparent to the Edge kind of archetype of a character where he uses his mind to get where he needs to be. And it also goes to show you that Seth is always better as a heel, right?
Yeah.
But
he needs to start cutting promos like he's a heel. He's still trying to cut the same babyface promos he was cutting before. We need certain adjustments to be made. One is the filing of the name for the group. That was one thing. They've done that, and we'll see probably them start being referred to as Division starting on Monday's Raw. He needs to get rid of the fucking music. Get rid of it.
I love the music.
He's never going to be an effective heel with music that the fans can sing along to. It's just not going to work.
I know what you mean. You want him to get Demolition, to take away that great song and give that spooky music and add Crush and make them in a trio, wear that gimp mask for a bit.
Like whatever he needs something different to kind of say I'm a heel now. He needs to put it all together, make different changes to his the outfits and stuff like that. That was cool when you were a babyface. That was cool when you were heel last time. Let's make a real big change in your whole entire presentation. You're next to one of the greatest promos of all time in Paul Heyman. You live at home with one of the best people that have gone from being a babyface and then changing so many things about themselves to be a heel. Get some tips when you're getting pillow talking. Do whatever you need to do. We need to see these adjustments take place. I think Alex Wallowski came up with the best idea. We need the promo on Monday to be like, when Paul Heyman said, you should fake an injury to set up your Money in the Bank. I was like, no, there's no way. There's no way they would believe that they would buy that. But you know what? You did. And the Oracle was not only right that SummerSlam was the right spot and I had to fake the injury until then. He said that SummerSlam, then I can cash in on the right champion at the right time. And the Oracle saw the vision. And look what happened. Look who was the world heavyweight champion when I decided to cash in. The one person that I hate the most, the one person that I said I promised all of you I would not allow him to be the world champion. I was able to do that thanks to the Oracle. It's great that he's the architect, but he's been the architect for over 10 years now. We need him to form that connection to Paul Heyman, that he's listening to Paul Heyman. That's what made the connection between Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns so well. That's how he became the wise man. But now you need to have Paul Heyman be the one who came up with this whole ruse of the century, making him fake the injury, because now he's the Oracle. He saw the future. He saw before CM Punk was even number one contender that CM Punk was going to be the champion at SummerSlam, and that's why he set up this whole ruse of Rollins faking the injury. We need to tie up the loose ends and the logic holes of this whole story here.
He's the visionary, you know. Are you looking forward to Becky Lynch debuting her new theme tonight?
Yeah, I think that Becky can do. Becky is due a new theme, and the fact that she avoided the Death Rebel, I gotta give it to her. The luck of the Irish.
But apparently it is a band, so she may probably avoid, you know, still being Death Rebelled. So a lot of people are sad to lose. Was it Celtic Invasion or whatever the song is called?
Yeah.
I've always liked the song. It's always been like a nice little catchy jingle, you know, and she kept as a heel and baby face to the point where you accept that the song will be with her, whatever version of her you see. But it is time to hear. It is an evolution. Austin went through it. The Rock went through it. You can go back to it one day, but let's hear what we have with you. As long as it's not like that god awful Sami Zayn Death Rebel theme we had. I can't believe he had the most generic. Like, I wanted to slap the shit out of Death Rebel. I know
and the fact that he didn't want to go back to it. He didn't want to go back to the iconic song.
No, he didn't, because he assumed. You know when they tell you in your head, like, he's seen other people not get their song back. So he talked to himself like, yeah, it doesn't work for my character now. Dude, that song, I got goosebumps attached to that. I got memories. When you want to tie all that kind of stuff, I got great memories. And it just, when you play that song, it just gets you in a great mood, man. That song is legendary. As much as CFOs were ringtone merchants, because I'm not CFOs guys. I felt like they made catchy jingles. They didn't make full songs. I grew up when
Jim, you put on a loop,
bro. That's not CD worthy. That's a ringtone. Put on your Nokia. You know what I'm saying? I grew up when Jim Johnson made CDs. You had lyrics. You had second verses, third verses. Kind of like when now I'm finding out that Fatal Influencer song is AI. Get the actual girl to give you a second verse. She even offered. I can give you a second verse. I was like, yeah, she's a good
like
singer.
a thief in the night.
I love that song. I love that song.
I was like, that's a banger. It
is a banger. And the fact is, yeah, like the song has been in my head because I got 2K25 and there's no Jasmine Nix. So I created my own female wrestler to be the third member because the song's in the game. It's all weird. So Fatal Influence are not in the game. Like Fallon Henley is a tag team with JC Jane, but there's no Jasmine Nix. So I was like, I'm going to create Fatal Influence, give my own third member and put the song. So I've been banging out the song. And then on NXT, the song played 3 nights because all 3 of them had matches.
Yeah.
Or 2 of them had matches, and then they had a promo at the start of the show. I was like, that song is a banger. And JC Jane, as Sid once said, we have Britt Baker at home, and she can actually wrestle.
Very well.
And she was a black guy as well. Go you, JC Jane. You know that you go for BBC.
We got a super chat donation from Real Take Wrestling. Thank you so much for the support. He says, shout out to you guys. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate the super chat donation. And everyone in the chat, final call for super chat donations and any thoughts that you have on the show. And of course, like us that we're going to do on screen here, let us know your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP, your moment of the night, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give last night's show? But for me, Sat and Josh, for WWE SummerSlam night 1 in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs in the middle. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. I was like, is the ending that good? No, it's still the thumbs in the middle. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10.
It's a Happy Gilmore 2. But Happy Gilmore 2 is more like this. They killed off the wife. Sorry, spoiler.
What did you give it out of 10?
It's either 5, it's 6 because of the main event, 6 out of 10, but it's like a -5. No, 5 or 5 plus. You know what I'm saying? 6 -6. Oh no, that's a negative. It's 6 out of 10 because of the main event. Like the main event is what will be remembered for. It'll be in the top 20 list. That main event carried the show or carried night one. Night two may make, you know what will happen. Night two might make us forget the entire night one. It'll be like the main event and night two, and then
his night two has that TLC matchup. It's got Becky and Lyra. It's got the triple threat for the women's world title. Those 3 matches, there's no way they are going to be anything less than very good.
Yeah. So fingers crossed no one gets injured. So I'm hoping that everyone comes up strong. And please cheer for Motor City Machine Gun. If you want them to get pushed, cheer for them. I love the guys. It's just like, if you've never seen TNA, you think these are the most dull guys you've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it
Raise
real.
Your fist.
Yeah. Bam, bam.
Raise your fist.
Right? I'm not raising my fist, okay? I need to see that trademark charisma that Alex Shelley had. I don't want to be like Alex Shelley got older and wiser. No. I need to see that charisma, man.
Yeah.
You know.
So, Josh, what did you give it?
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
So you and Seth on the same page. I went slightly higher because I love Punk versus Gunther. So easy match of the night is Punk versus Gunther.
Yeah. Same.
We're all in agreement.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's why I'm giving it a 6 was because of the main event. If it wasn't for the main event, this is definitely like probably a 5 or probably less than that.
Really? And a 4.5.
Basically.
MVP for the show, I'm gonna give it to Seth freaking Rollins.
Ooh, who am I giving MVP to? Roman Reigns, man. Like that guy jumped over, he overshot because a lot of people they talk a bit weird about him, you know what I'm saying? So like obviously Seth Rollins did great. It was a great cash in, it created a great moment, but in terms of like consistently doing well, or maybe if you got that who's underrated, I'll put him down. But yes, Seth, and I'll put Shield there. Just be Shield.
Josh.
Shield.
My MVP, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins.
LVP for the show, I'm gonna give it to Karrion Kross.
That's the big guy I had. That's the main one I had, Karrion Kross.
Yeah. Who you got?
I'm gonna give it to Scarlett Bordeaux.
She had her witching powers defunct by Sami Zayn.
Yeah. Right? She did. Well, where's Sherry Martel when you need her? Like, I need someone that actually help me with matches. I'm kidding. It's Karrion Kross, but it'll be funny just to give. It's Karrion Kross. It was his moment, and he didn't like. I'm not clamoring. The whole point is you watch someone, you start fantasy booking them. Now you're like, how can I fantasy book you away from the seed? How can I put you in the mid card seed? Now, even in mid card, you're like, how can I fantasy book you back to catering? Like it should have been better. I like the guy. I just I hate doing this. This is like when you take someone to the woodshed, you're like, man, I don't want to do this. I really don't, but I have to.
I'll give honorable mention to Jade Cargill. I think if Cross didn't have a worse matchup, then it would have been Jade Cargill for how they booked her. Seth, what was your moment of the night?
Ooh, moment of the night. Obviously, it's the cash in. It can't be anything else. The cash in is moment of the night. That's what everyone's talking about. Everyone's on the internet, doing think pieces, showing the backstage of Becky being there. No one's talking about, you see that jelly roll choke slam like Izzy Dame? Did you see Logan Paul crashing the cans wearing the glasses? Did you see that Jade, the wasted the pinfall? No, the talking piece, the headline is what Seth did. Seth freaking Rollins. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for the cash in, it probably is Logan Paul's frog splash. But I'll give it to the cash in for sure. Josh,
at the moment, Seth Rollins cash in.
We're all in agreement there, but we've made it to the end of our WWE SummerSlam Night 1 review. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow at 12:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Myself and Josh will be joined by Nate Milton of the NWA podcast for that one. We also got our SummerSlam Night 2 watch party tonight, hosted by the Stat King. So he'll be here. We'll have a bunch of the gang watching, and this will be another one where you, the members of our channel, can have the opportunity to join us on screen and watch the show with us, so you can have some fun with our watch party. So join Stat King. Maybe Chris G will be here as well. But we got to thank our guests for today's night one review, Seth Niangi, our favorite, our family here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Thank you so much, good brother. You're always bringing the laughs, always bringing the entertainment, as always, and the vascularity. So let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they might see you again.
I am on X, formerly known as Twitter, at SatNext2. You can find me there. I usually, tweet about wrestling and how the nose, that's how we know him as, the nose gets it wrong in terms of how he books things. You can sometimes find me on Wrestle Talk. I'm on the Wrestle Talk YouTube channel, Brainbusters. I'm the special guest referee on there. Yeah, some good times there. SoCal Val is hosting it. It's another trivia show. If you like wrestling trivia, check that out. And yeah, you never know where you're gonna find me. I randomly appear. I've got a Roman Reigns like schedule. I only come for big shows and vibing with you guys here, everywhere and in between. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, good brother. Josh, let everybody know where they can follow you, good sir.
You can follow me JM Punk 321 Twitter and Instagram. Like you said, I'll be back tomorrow for SummerSlam Night 2 review. Tonight I might join the watch along depending on how I feel. I might pop up for that. I'm definitely gonna watch the show tonight live because I couldn't yesterday, so I had to catch up on everything. But yeah, I'll be on tomorrow.
There you have it. We got some last minute news notes. Gunther reportedly is having surgery on his nose, so he's going to be out of action for a little bit following SummerSlam. And Fightful Select just reported that Braun Breaker may have sustained an injury during the tag team matchup on the show. They had a Fightful Select reader, Shard, who said, "I had a photo op with him earlier today. He came in about an hour late and was limping into the area. They gave him a chair to sit throughout the session. Also, the person that accompanied him from WWE was telling the workers to speed through the photos upon arrival." Really cool guy. I thanked him for showing up because he definitely didn't have to, and wished him a speedy recovery. Knee seemed a bit swollen. When Fightful asked WWE, a source only indicated that he was going to be evaluated, but they were hoping it wouldn't end up being bad. They said that they will keep you updated when they hear more. So that's not a good look. That's two big stars, two big heels too, that would be out of action.
Okay, Sat Math. I'm not happy he's injured, but I'm kind of happy that he will be out of action because they forced him to Ethan. Come on, get Ethan up. I know he's tied up.
Tony D just had his Sopranos farewell.
You know what? I never really thought of Tony D. Yeah, but how can you have been from the Don to being the underboss next to, or there's layers to.
Hey, go into a different territory. You go into a different territory. You got to start from the bottom. You got to work your way up, man.
I rather Ethan than Ricky Saints. I feel like Ethan will be perfect for that group.
I agree with that. I did not like Ricky Saints when that was even suggested. I was like, Ricky Saints would work way better as the understudy to Cody Rhodes, and you do Bruno Sammartino, Larry Sabisco story for the new generation.
Bingo, bango, shingo shango. Yeah.
But yes, drop the thumbs up on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you are new. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. Like I said again, join us live tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time for our WWE SummerSlam 2025 Night 2 watch party hosted by the Stat King. And of course, we will be back tomorrow, 12:05 p.m. Eastern time with the Night 2 review. But for Sat Niangi, for the True Jaw Josh, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been our WWE SummerSlam Night 1 review. We are signing off until next time.